What's up, guys? Ricky from LA here. Just letting you know that wow, okay, I fucked it up already. Just letting you all know that I'm currently streaming on twitch.tv/Ricky from LA. That's twitch.tv/Ricky from LA. Today, we're going to be doing a D&D campaign. Surprising, I know. But we're going to be doing a D&D campaign inspired by Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I fucking love it. It's so much fun. This is like a return to the game after a while. We haven't like played in a bit, so I'm excited. Yeah. Hello.
Welcome back.
Oh, alrighty.
All right.
Are we all ready to begin?
Let's just jump right into it.
I'll just jump right into it.
Let's
Okay,
just
so
jump right
we
into
shall
it.
do a quick little.
Recap?
A sexy little recap.
Sexy little
Could
recap.
you
You
give
do
us?
sexy little recap.
Okay. So we last left off 4 months ago, both in-game and out-game. Don't mind that. With a rather difficult situation, shall we say? Your boy Sinric accidentally killed someone, and using
Oh,
some rather concerning powers, brought them back. But as we all know, there is a cost to all things in the universe. And alongside that, there was also another cost with him having to do some community service. Kalen,
Hello.
alongside that, was doing various different things, trying to be a big magic boy,
Oh, I'm so big magic.
as you do. And sitting in the library for the majority of this time, as you do.
As you
Petra was sticking to walls. But the important things, sticky. But the important things that happened was the three of them, alongside the pets Alexander and Asta, and their allies Bernadetta, Abaddon, and Violet, went to do their best to get their friend Violet to join their class called the Flames. Now, all of the players and the NPCs are part of the Academy of Darkfall, and Violet is the head teacher's sister. Yes. And in order to get her to join the Flames, they went to a town off in the distance, which I believe called Shimmervale, where they tried to help figure out people's insomnia in the town. They met lots and lots of very tired, old, grumpy men.
Can I just point out that you highlighted the insomnia part and not the people
Yes.
going missing part?
Oh yeah,
I feel like that's a very
Insomnia.
important. Like,
people going missing.
it's
I was
like-
going to get to it because I was saying old men because all of the women
There you
have been
go,
going missing.
there you go.
You know, that's important. And they found a giant wolf with a scythe in its mouth, and they hunted it down and punched it so hard it exploded. Explode? Yes. And alongside that, once they did that, they managed to get their friend Abaddon the scythe from its mouth. Now, as they got back, they all experienced dreams. Their dreams were of varying degrees of weirdness, but all of them were extremely weird. And as all of them woke up, while they may not have mentioned this to all of the other players and
Don't know what you're talking
non-player
about.
characters alongside,
Don't know what you're talking about.
they all woke up with something new. And they very briefly later found out that pretty much everybody else in the school had weird dreams on that same night and got something new themselves. Now, since then,
Well,
there has been 4 months of time where they've been spending a lot of time trying to figure some things out. Sinric has mastered the art of shooting 2 shots at 2 different people in the same shot.
don't you see?
Split shot, love it. Kalen has begun the art of, well, enchanting items.
Damn straight.
Petra has stuck to walls
I forgot that I enchanted that item.
Hands.
and learned to throw hands, but mostly stuck to walls. And alongside that, they are now preparing themselves for the. I have to double check the exact naming because I did have an exact naming for this. The Quad House Cup, and the soon-to-be election of the house leaders. But as you can tell, well, before that, as you could sort of tell from some of this, there are 7 people in all of the houses except for the Flames. And the Flames themselves have recently been told by their head teacher, Valorius, and their house teacher, Fionn, that they were going to have a new arrival. And that is where we shall begin the session.
Sorry, real quick. Is it okay if I just give everyone a general recap of their characters, like for the audience?
Oh yeah, go ahead. If
I'm
you guys
Kalen.
would like to give a quick recap of your own characters, or just you do it.
I'm Kalen, Prince of Paladonia. I love books. Petra is my, I don't know, book carrier. I don't know what you describe her.
Pretty accurate.
And my goal is to become the leader of the Green Flames at Darkfall Academy. This is me. Yeah.
Rusty, you want to explain your characters? You two?
In order is to go?
I don't think that'll be
I
necessary.
feel like you should go last.
Yeah.
Callie, go.
Okay, what is there about me? Well, I'm a peasant. I saved Bernadetta, and that's the whole reason I'm here, because she's the princess of my country. I shoot things, pray to a god, I accidentally killed someone, I brought them back, and... Is that about it?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Oh, I have a bird. Her name's Asta.
Oh yeah, and Asta.
She's
Asta
the
is
greatest
best.
ever.
Yeah.
Petra?
See, I'm debating between making it broken English or not broken English.
Just
Petra speaks
explain
in
your character
Petra
and then go
speaks
to
in
the
broken
workshop.
English.
Yeah.
Okay. Her name's Petra. She's from a Pelagio near the south that is under the control of Caitlin's country. And as such, she is in Caitlin's country as a guest and they became friends with him, or his book carrier, as he said.
Yeah, we're friends. I've seen her naked. That's like the,
Yeah.
the highest level of friendship you can attain in the civilized world.
True. She's not very good with languages, but she's very nice. She's got a lot of problems going on right now. She's very sticky.
Alright. Sort of
Very
a
sticky.
fucking diary entry.
But yeah, hopefully she can figure out what's going on, I guess. Maybe.
Alright,
Cool.
Tiani?
I'm Siani. I'm the Emperor's youngest daughter from the Morvanian Empire, and I really fucking love flowers and shit, and I'm here to learn stuff and fucking make allies with other countries.
Alright, I will give a quick run through of the other flames because they're kind of important,
Kind
I
of,
guess,
yeah.
to some
Hang on.
extent.
Before we
tiny.
forget,
Yes.
fuck the Rilgans.
Yeah,
Fuck
fuck
the
the
Rilgans,
Rilgans,
yes.
dude. Fuck them.
the Rilgans.
I
That's
fucking hate
not an
the
opinion
the
held by
Rilgan.
the
Yeah,
entire
no,
house.
the entire house fucks the Rilgans. Fuck the Rilgans.
It's the Rilgans.
Yeah, I hate them. I hate them, and by extension, everyone I know must hate them.
Correct.
Very correct.
Look, like either fuck the Rilgans or fuck the Rilgans. Right?
Okay,
Okay,
one or the
I'll
other.
allow
There's
that.
no in between. You got to do one of them. Alright, so we'll go through the allies. Firstly, there is Bernadetta. She is the socially anxious, ball of anxiety princess of the Carian Empire. She is the only daughter of Queen Asenna, and quite literally has to be saved at almost every turn. She's a decent shot, but she doesn't like to leave her room. She also likes cake. Then we've got Abaddon, who was the
Shadowdawn.
ward. Shadowdawn, the ward to Reina of Critoria. He is a small town, like he's a small noble basically, who's recently gone through the fact that his father passed away, and Reina had to go back to Criteria. He remains at the school because he wants to try and learn to be the best fucking sword mage boy in the universe, because he is quite attached to the rest of the characters. And then we've got Violet, who is the younger daughter of an old family and the younger sister to Valorius, the head teacher. Now, Violet and Valorius are actually potentially related to some royalty in this country, but unfortunately the country is quite small, and so they are literally just a part of this academy now. So, we shall begin with Tayani. Tayani, within the last week, you have travelled a long distance through various methods, and the majority of it was horse-drawn carriage. It was rather lavish until the point where you actually got into the country of Arias, which is where the Darkfall Academy is. And as soon as you got into the country of Arias, you were given to a... well, I say given. You were transported onto another horse-drawn carriage with a single man.
Does he have one eye?
Man. Yes.
Yes.
With a single man with only
Yes.
one eye drawing the carriage. With
Yes.
with a donkey. He greets you very briefly. Oh, sorry. Give me a second. And he kind of sorts out a little scroll. We'd like to thank you for joining Darkfall Academy, even if it's very late. What does that? What's it? A pleasure is ours. If you would like to come this way, I'll be taking you up to the mountain. Yes.
Alright, that sounds good.
As you can see, you can see that he has like a very peasant clothing. It's very obvious. He's rather dirty and a little bit grubby. One of his eyes seems to be covered with a kind of larger than it should be patch. It seems like it would fit like somebody twice his size almost, but it's covering his eye and then some across his head. And he very briefly opens the door for you to enter this small carriage.
Thank you. Tiani will step inside, and I didn't catch your name.
Oh, yes. Well, you see, everybody does this, where they're like, oh, I need to remember your name. But every single time, I ask them again later, and they forget. It's just because I have the eye patch now that they try and think that they can remember. I know. It's Josh.
Josh. Pleasure.
Okay, Josh.
As he furiously nods at the fact that you now know his name, he then quickly closes the carriage door, gets onto the front of the carriage, and begins traveling with this wonderful little donkey he has.
You wanna know what's funny?
Yes.
I know a random bandit's dietary consumption more than I know that person's name.
Yeah.
I have a note that says, found a book on a bandit, diet diary, explains what he was eating. Diet consisted mostly of bread and ale.
Yeah. You want to know something really funny?
Yeah, what's that?
I've had that name since the beginning.
None of us
No one
fucking
bothered
asked.
to
I
ask.
genuinely have.
Oh,
Just because I was like, you got a stupid bookworm of a character, I'm sure you're going to ask the
Nope.
name at some point. And it didn't happen.
never.
It's funny.
Is
But
Tiani
yes,
able to, like, see Josh through the carriage
yes.
or, like,
So
talk to him?
the carriage has like a slightly open window that you can see like just his head almost. And then on the doors there are windows looking out, but there are shutters. It's not like glass or anything. So like there are shutters to close it. But the shutters are pretty much all closed right now for the simple reason that it is really surprisingly cold for this time of the year. We're beginning to get past spring into like just beginning to get into summer, and this is not quite the temperatures that you are at all used to.
So it's pretty
you-
fucking hot in the desert.
As you've been getting further and further north, it has been getting more and more cold. And you have heard from people saying that the worst of the winter is over, but you can still see a very small amount of snow settled along the pathways as you're making your way. Firstly, in towards the Darkfall town, and then up towards the actual mountain. Now,
Tiana is very fucking cold.
yes.
Petra can
The
relate.
journey. The journey itself doesn't take too long, less than a day, and as you got to this this place early morning, it's about midday when you start making your way. Well, by start making your way, actually, you would have pretty much gotten to Darkfall Academy by midday. Now we're going to cut very quickly to the rest of the group, who is sitting in the mess hall. Another relatively normal day. Sitting there
What
getting
day is it?
prepared for lunch. What day is it?
Yeah, what day
Well,
is it?
It's a Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Okay.
Wednesday. As you
It's
see.
Wednesday.
Wednesday the 10th, of
Oh,
course.
okay. Cool. It's gonna be Thursday the 11th
Of
because it's
Garland.
already September, and I'm just kind of breaking my immersion. That's all. Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, it is indeed Wednesday the 10th of Garland Moon.
What classes are we taking?
That's up to you. What classes would you like to be taking?
Wizardry,
What
of course.
classes do we have as options?
Yes,
Yeah,
that is
suppose.
another good question for you.
Yeah.
So currently the ones that would it's up to you which ones you guys are choosing right now, because again, it's mostly fine. If you're going with your normal ones, then sure.
I need to find the
Did
fucking
she
thing.
get a list of classes?
You will get a list of classes soon, yeah.
Okay.
It is pinned in the downtime.
Yeah, it's the downtime. Obby.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna be doing wizardry and I'd probably go
downtime?
political economics. Sorry, politics.
Politics, okay.
Yeah, wizardry and
Um,
politics,
mhm.
and then languages.
Okay. Sure. Wizardry and politics. So you're probably with Vaxus for today.
Okay.
Nature and wilderness and languages, if possible.
Languages, okay. You'd be with nature and wilderness, so Fion probably today. And Zedek?
I think. I think Hive Hunter, for sure.
Hive Hunter? Okay.
I'm not sure about the other one. So I feel like he doesn't offer archery on his own now. So maybe light weapons.
He's started offering archery a lot more recently, because there's been a little bit more of an increase of people wanting to do archery. Specifically, recently, if you've been in archery, which you probably have, Wyatt's been around often trying to do archery. Lydia's
Archery.
been there a lot. Yeah, she's
Jesus
doing archery with Yadna. So you guys would have just come from your first session, which would be the other one that I didn't mention. And you're at lunch. Lunch seems to consist of a lot more meats than it has like the last couple of weeks. By that I mean the last couple of weeks has had a lot more meats than normal. And generally at this point in the year, there seems to be just a little bit more food than you're used to just around, which, as you can tell, looking around, a couple of the characters seem to be quite enjoying the increase in food, specifically Bertrand and Adam.
Oh, big boy.
Fucking Bertrand.
So, how's everyone's classes going?
Good. Yeah. Good.
Wonderful. Does everyone have learning materials? I think I'm a bit short on our study group for tonight. I'm not sure if I'm going to have anything for you, Sinric. So,
That's fine.
if you have any suggestions on what we can help you with, then I'll be more than happy to adhere. Any theory, or is it mostly practice, or?
I mean, there might be some reading I can do on monsters or something.
Ah, wonderful. Right, I'll Theon might know. I'll have a look.
Theon knowing about books.
Well, who would be the go-to? Because Theon comes to mind.
when it comes to I'll explain the classes in a second. But when it comes to anything to do with monsters, if you want first-hand knowledge, Fion would definitely be the person to go to. If you want knowledge of the different things in like different books specifically, Vaxis is almost always the person to go to because he probably just knows. Other than that, you can just roam the library and eventually you'll find something.
Probably have a good idea of where things are in the library by now.
Yeah.
Especially
probably.
on the first floor.
Mm-hmm.
Like the lower floors, probably not so much, but yeah. All right, I'll find some time to scrounge some stuff up.
Yeah. Okay. So as you are sitting down, you can very obviously see that Bernadette is actually sitting on the table with you.
Wow.
Within the last couple of weeks, she has actually been coming to lunches and dinners, even if she doesn't seem to talk much and sits at the very end of the table. She actually has been just joining, like, in general, and she's been going to classes for the most part. Abaddon has his very shoddy-looking glasses on, head in a book while he's shoveling broth, meaty broth into his face. And Violet seems to just be very absent-minded at the current time. Just very, kind of just poking at her food. A lot of the other people around, it seems like pretty much everybody is currently in the mess hall. And as everybody is collected, you do see Valorius kind of stands up for a minute and goes, attention everybody! Do that, and you can see that it takes a couple seconds for everybody to actually give him his attention.
Right.
You hear like a little bit of laughter from over at the mists. You can tell Wilhelm has made a terrible joke, and Constantine and Wyatt are having an absolute laugh. Well, they're just laughing their asses off at it.
Right.
And it takes a couple seconds, and you can see Valorius gets a little bit agitated at first, and then Fion actually stands up, and everybody goes silent.
Oh shit, big man.
Yes, so, as you all know, the Green Flames have had been missing a person for a rather long time now. And with the Quad House Cup coming up, we have luckily managed to get ourselves a replacement for Lady Reyna of Criteria. Now, any time today, there should be a replacement, and it is Lady Tayani. Tayani, is it? And you see Vaxis nods. Of the Morvanian Empire. Yes. Is that right, Vaxis? And you see Vaxis just nods again, his head kind of just in his hands at this point. It is about this time when, Tayani, you make your way. Well, the carriage manages to make its way all the way up to the steps of Darkfall Academy. Darkfall Academy is up in the mountain of Darkfall, and it is almost pretty much on the edge of various different cliffs. As you make your way across to, it's almost like two mountains conjoined, and you've made your way up the right side, and there's a little like almost bridge making its way over to the left side where Darkfall Academy properly is. From where you are, you can see that you have to take a little set of steps up, and in between there is a gorge that drops hundreds of feet down at least. You can see a large main hall with several. There's 4 different spires, 2 on either side, that seem to be quite tall. And then just past it, you can see just a glimpse of what looks like another building that is quite next to a sheer drop. The man, Josh, as he has opened the door for you, goes, "Well, so it should be everything. Should be able to just go on in." Once again, they said that there's going to be somebody to meet you.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Hopefully, I've never really been here before, so...
You'll just walk right in. Act like you own the place. Most nobles will do. Well, good day. And he jumps back onto the the donkey-drawn carriage. Goes, "Hyah!" And the donkey begins making its way back down the mountain.
Alright, goodbye. Tiana will start going in direction of, where Josh pointed.
You make your way across this small bridge to the actual Darkfall Academy proper. Then there's a set of stairs, and then it opens up into a small courtyard with basically the center of this main building with a set of doors right there. You can see through some windows. There seems to be some lights, and you think that there might be movement on the inside of this set of windows.
Just gonna walk right in there.
All right. You begin walking past the steps, up, open the doors, and as
Will
you
we-
do, you see Valorius go. And yes, they should be there soon. Oh, hello.
Hello.
You find yourself in front of. There's about 8 different tables. Most of them are rather long, but only 4 of them are actually really taken. Well, 5 of them are actually really taken. It seems like mostly there are people in set colors sitting at different tables, but there are a couple places where they seem to mix up. You see a table with people dressed in what looks like a sort of uniform with like green adornments. You see a table with mostly red and then a couple of yellow adornments. People wearing those clothes. A table with mostly blue and a couple of yellow, and then a final table which looks like a bit more of a mishmash, but it has mostly yellow.
Will we?
And then a final table with a man, 2 men standing up. One who's blonde, looks extremely large, and then a man who looks rather shorter than him, with rather pale hair, kind of staring at you. And it seems like he was in the middle of saying something when you entered.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Please continue.
Were we notified?
You were notified vaguely that there was going to be someone joining, but you didn't know exactly who it was.
Right.
And they kind of didn't mention when it was going to happen, but you knew before the Quad House Cup that there was going to be so at least someone.
Right.
Tiani, would you like to introduce what your character looks like?
A bitch.
If possible.
Well, Tiana is a very dark-skinned human. Got some like royal markings on her face, and she's got a flower necklace, like a vine wrapped around her neck, and then a very like clingy-looking pet flower that just kind of attaches to her body at some point. It seems very protective. She's got hazel eyes and long brown hair. About 5'7" tall.
So 57 feet tall. Got it.
57. You see, like
Shit,
the
she's
man.
5'9".
You see the man who's talking kind of like seems a bit confused at first, and then goes, "Oh, well, you must be Tiani."
Kaylin's already standing up.
Yes.
Oh yes, Tiani Drenian. Nice to meet you.
Mm-hmm. I was not expecting you at this point.
Kaylin's walking over. Kaylin's walking over.
Okay, well, that's fine. Everybody go back to eating. Okay. And you see that Valorius and Valorius gets up, like moves over to Vaxus, and you see they are having a bit of a conversation. Yes, Kaylin, you
Kaylin's
walk
instantly
over to...
walking over. Once he gets close enough, he's extending his hand out.
Tiani will take his hand. Hello, Tiani.
Yes, well, we were just notified of your arrival, and here you are. My name is Kaylin Price of the Paladonian Empire, of Kingdom, sorry. Yes, pleasure to meet you. Welcome to Darkfall Academy.
Oh, thank you. You're the first to welcome me here. I have
Odd.
no idea where I am.
Kaylin's just gonna look back at like the teachers, and then he understands what's going on already based on what was just said. Would you like me to show you to our dormitory? Since I believe you'll be part of the Green Flames.
That'd be great, thanks.
As you're having this conversation, you see that the little flower that was attached to Yanni's leg almost kind of quickly scuttles down and appears to be sniffing at your feet, Kaylin.
Oh, what a curious creature. Is that some kind of magical companion? I've heard of various summoning capabilities, but a flower, that's unique.
Very strange. Alice kind of just crawled out of a pot of sand one day, and, well, here she is.
So there's no
Um,
conjuration properties whatsoever?
no, Alice just sort of comes out of a pot.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
Yep. You cast Detect Magic.
Wait, no, I can't. It's not prepared. Never mind.
It's not perfect.
No.
Oh well, you
No.
do not cast.
I do not cast
Detect
Detect
Magic.
Magic.
Isn't it a ritual spell? You could spend like 10
I'm not-
minutes in front of
I'm
somebody.
the fuck. I'm not doing that. Yes, I'm gonna kind of turn slightly and message to Petra and be like, could you please come help our new arrival with her luggage? Thank you.
Oh, I think
Message
Josh ran off
cannot.
with my things.
Does she have
I
luggage?
kind of took on.
Because he was going back down the mountain.
Yeah.
He did leave your stuff, like as he left. Like you very quickly dumped it.
I just assumed that
But
she
whether
was
you took it with
carrying
you is up to you.
Well, it's outside.
Would you like some help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got quite a few things.
All right, I'm gonna message Petra and Abaddon.
And Petra will come along.
You see Abaddon kind of very quickly like look up and then look back down for a second, finish like reading the last couple sentences, and then slam his book and get up.
As
Makes his way over.
as they arrive, I will just address them. This is Petra, one of my closest companions. She has some difficulty with the common language, but she is a wonderful person.
Hello, Petra. Tiani, nice to
Hello.
meet you.
Are you gonna shake her hand?
Yeah. Let's do it again.
Big mistake.
Oh no.
You're not stuck to my hand. Hello.
Oh, you have quite the grip. Tiani kind of wiggles her hand a little bit. Like, did you let go?
Oh, she's not grabbing you. You're stuck to her.
Oh dear.
Yes. It often slips my mind. We've been dealing with this for quite some while. Petra is, well, in layman terms, she's rather sticky. So, and I'm just gonna grab Petra's arm and like try and pull it away.
Yeah. Okay. Make a strength check for me.
Oh God, don't. I'm just gonna give myself disadvantage because I'm Kaelin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mage hand.
Tiani
You
just
see-
kind of like walks with the hand.
You see,
Well,
so were you doing it with mage hand? Sorry.
No, I'm going to do it
With your actual
my
hand.
strength and then
Yeah.
do it with mage hand.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah, so
inevitably
you
fail.
see Kaelin go to try and like pull the hand off, and you see Kaelin himself also get stuck.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna mage hand pull myself off, and then mage hand separate those two.
It takes like it looks like it takes a little bit of a tug this time, and you manage to get it all split apart. As this is happening, you see Alice is kind of sniffing at Petra as well, and it kind of gets a little bit more erratic for a second as you're stuck together. But as soon as you guys are split apart, seems like Alice goes back to the normal, very slight sniff, kind of boring, basic meh.
Right,
No.
and this is Abaddon, esteemed melee combatant and promising magic user.
Oh, yes. Hello. I'm Abaddon. Abaddon Avarik. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure's all mine, Tiani. Just gonna be a little bit like against shaking people's hands now.
Yeah. He does put his hand out to take yours.
Just kind of like gonna squint at it, like kind of hesitate for a moment and then take it.
He very firmly shakes your hand, and it's almost a little bit too firm. He kind of does the thing where he grabs your hand with both hands and shakes very fast. Yeah. So,
Very
oh, it's
vigorous
nice to
speech.
meet royalty. Yes. So you needed me, Helen?
Yes, I believe we
Abaddon's
should.
a simp.
I believe we should assist our new arrival with luggage, don't you?
Ah, of course, yes.
She says it's
point me in the
outside.
direction and,
Yes. And then I'm going to start walking outside. There are others, but I didn't want to overwhelm you, especially in front of a whole mess hall full of people.
And don't really want to bother anybody while they're trying to eat either. Abadonia seem pretty strong. Would you mind carrying a few things for me?
yeah, I assume that's what I was here for.
Yeah, that was clearly
Sure.
established. Let's walk. I'm going outside.
Yeah, he goes outside as well. So
Go
there
and
was
locate the
things.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of looks around as he looks around, and as the rest of you look around, you don't see any things very close.
Do we see them across
Anybody
the
can roll me a
bridge?
perception check if they want.
Wait. Fuck.
Okay. Teoni and Kayla, you both see that yes, the things are not on this side of the gorge. It's at the other side of the gorge, set up against a tree.
All
Kind of
right.
on the snow, just by themselves.
Kaylin's gonna mentally wonder why this bitch just left her luggage out here and walk across the bridge.
You see, Abaddon kind of is looking around. He's like, where are these things?
It's across the bridge that way. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Begins making his way across the bridge as well.
So, what brings you to Darkfall? I assume to educate yourself, but
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. It's nice to meet everyone as well. I've heard of you from my parents and our advisors. You're much prettier than they have said.
are you speaking to me?
Yeah.
I see. Yes, of course I have heard of you as well. It's hard not to know of the one of the princesses of an empire.
So Abaddon has made his way
Fear of me.
across.
What the? Yeah, I'm gonna go across as well. I'm not gonna pick anything up because
Yes,
I'm
of course.
I have weak little spaghetti arms, but that's why I brought these two along.
So how many, like, what would you have, and how much stuff would it be?
Couple bags of clothes, a shit ton of plants, and some books and things.
Okay, cool. You see Abaddon picks up like several of the bags in one go, and then just like, so I'm pretty sure I can carry all of it, but I can't really put it all on. If somebody could help me stack them, then I could carry it all.
You're going across a bridge. Let's take it slow and steady. Yes.
Yes, I guess that's true. That's true. He begins like slowly ferrying the stuff across the bridge first. Once we're on the other side of the bridge, I'll do
Of
it all
course,
then.
of course, yes. If there's anything under 10 pounds, I'll pick it up with Mage Hand.
Yeah, there's like a couple pots and stuff like that you can kind of just grab and send across. Takes a couple minutes, but he does manage to get everything across the bridge pretty easily. Once they're all across the bridge, he then goes, so where exactly are we taking all of this?
Well, as she is a new arrival to the Green Flames, I suppose we should take her to the spare room.
Oh, yes, the Wyvern's room.
No, well,
yes.
that's the spare room, yes.
The spare room, of course.
Guards had a room for a wyvern?
Well,
it was a complicated situation. We did the best we could with what we had.
yes, that is rather accurate. I still have many scars from it, but I don't know.
It's still in there, is it?
Oh no,
or
it's
maybe
Oh, no,
another
it-
sword?
long.
Yeah, it's
Long
it's,
gone.
it's long gone. Oh, right, all right. Yes, and then, without saying anything further, Kaylin's gonna go on ahead and fucking just kind of like get ahead of the group and get to the dorm first so that he can deactivate the alarms.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Abaddon begins carrying pretty much everything alongside Petra, and you get to the place. Deactivating the alarms pretty easy for you, to be honest, right?
Yeah. Just a matter of.
So, yeah.
It's mostly just like the entrance to the dorm, and then like
Okay.
my room.
Cool.
To get the arcane ward.
Yeah, okay. So you deactivate most of the alarms. Abaddon kind of sets most of the stuff outside the room to the your new room, and as he like sets it all down, once all of the alarms are off, he kind of stops for a second and then goes, Galen,
Oh yes,
is the room unlocked?
that is a good question.
I guess I could check. And he goes to open the door, and it kind of tries to open it. You can see he's having a bit of trouble.
Interesting.
Be a problem.
If I look,
Tiana's gonna set the pot down. And just...
if I look through the keyhole, can I mage hand unlock the door?
Oh,
Like, can I summon mage hand on the other side and then unlock the door?
Huh. So, it would be...
Is there a keyhole?
There is a keyhole, yes.
Okay, let me pick my lock.
Ah,
You can pick the lock, yeah. It would be a lot more difficult to do with the mage hand, because you
Yeah, that's
essentially
I'll
only
just-
be picking the
I'll
lock.
just look at Petra and be like, would you kindly?
Okay.
We could just ask Fion.
Ah, yes, but we want a new guest to be, a new classmate to be sorted before we have to involve any teachers, of course.
should
least-
I be concerned
Yeah,
that you all can open an unlocked door?
You see Petra quite literally walk up, pull out a set of lockpicks, click, 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 and then go to put them back, struggle for a second to actually pull them off her sticky skin, but put them back pretty easily. The lock quite literally pops open within a second.
Ah, wonderful. See, as for your concern, that depends. Petra comes from a place where people don't really use doors or keys very much, so she's used to encountering these kinds of problems and solving them with her tools. I actually have the key to her room on my person because she doesn't use it.
Oh, alright then. I do enjoy my privacy though. If you could not do that, past this moment, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Wasn't planning on it. Right. Well, get yourself situated, and then we can go speak to the faculty.
Okay, Tiana's just gonna start hauling over shit into the room then.
You open the door. It's a very basic room. It looks like there's literally like a bed with like bedding on it and everything. And it looks like there is like a single wardrobe / desk, like a single wardrobe and a desk with a chair, and that's pretty much it in the room. The room is not that big, to be quite honest. You think like it could barely fit much more than just this what it's got in there, and yeah, you begin bringing your stuff into the room. What are the rest of you doing?
While she's doing that, I'm going to go and find Fion.
All right, cool. Where are you going?
Was he at the mess hall?
He was at the mess hall the last time you were there.
Gonna go to the mess hall.
Okay, yeah. You go to the mess hall, and he is quite obviously there, sitting, numbing away on his meaty stew.
Gonna go up to him.
Yep. You make your way over to him. You see him mid conversation with Morgan as you come up, and he goes, "Oh, Galen, how's it going? What's up?"
Quite well, thank you. Just informing you that we've situated our new arrival in one of the rooms. A key would be lovely in the future, but I've thought that, seeing as you are the head teacher of the Flames, that you might want to come and say a few words or welcome her yourself.
Oh shit! Yeah, I probably should, shouldn't I? Give me a second to finish up, and then I'll be over. Before I forget, Faxus he's gone back to his study, and the random bullshit he does. He did want to have a talk with you real quick. Something about, I think it was a book or something he found. I don't know. He said something. That he says that stuff, and I kind of block it out.
Kaelin's ears like perk and then like twitch. The word book is like
Book.
Of course. Do you know where he might be?
Yeah, he'll probably be in the study or the library.
Immediately
the
leaving.
general places you tend to find.
Immediately going.
Well,
very well, thank you. Bye.
Good luck. Yes. So. Okay. Yeah. I guess we shall go to do that first before we move on.
Cool.
Yeah. So, where are you going to find Vaxus?
His study.
Yep. You go to his study, which is basically like a room just above the wizarding magic classroom, his classroom, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You're knocking on the door. It is closed. Yep. Knock on the door. Door opens in front of you, and you see him sitting across the room, kind of reading away at a book that he's not actually holding. Yes.
Good afternoon. Theon informed me that you wish to speak to me.
Just the person I was looking for. So you see, I remember a couple of weeks ago you mentioned wanting more spells for your spellbook.
Yes.
Admirable goal, of course. You see, I'm reading a book on sailors right now. It's Admiral on the mind. There, I believe, should be one coming in soon. However, firstly, I need to read it over myself to make sure there's nothing, how do I put this, untoward that you could learn from it.
Right.
Or, well, at least nothing that would cause you to or if it is untoward, at least I can make it a little bit less untoward. I don't want you blowing up the school, is what I mean.
I was thinking more on the scale of X-ray vision in the girls' locker room, but yes, that is definitely unpreferable.
We've all been there. It's a rite of passage at this point.
Right. Of course.
But yes, it should be coming within the next couple of weeks. The messenger man will be bringing it. Now, the reason I mentioned
what's his name?
This. What's his name?
Yes, the messenger. We had a rather strange encounter with him. If we're thinking of the same person, but I don't think I ever.
The one with no eye.
Yes, him. Yes.
I don't know where his eye went.
Raina actually. Well, he got shot in the eye, and then Raina brought him back somehow. Not really sure how, but
Oh, to be honest, Caitlin, I don't care.
Of course.
The reason I mentioned this is because obviously he's going to be bringing it within the next couple of weeks. I wanted to inform you because a couple of our messages have been going missing recently, and so I don't have the time or the effort or the care to really bother about trying to deal with any of that. I mean, if it goes missing, I'm sure I can find one similar at somewhere. However, I assume you care a lot more about it, so if you want to try and stop it from going missing, that's up to you.
Right.
And when I say it going missing, I mean it goes missing between the time he delivers it and it gets to whoever it needs to go to.
Well, that is certainly strange. I will keep that in mind.
All right. Well, go on then. Any kind
Yes.
of gestures for you to leave.
I'd just leave.
Yeah. The door closes behind you as you leave. Now we will go back to Diani. Petra, what were you doing during this time?
Well, if nothing was needed, I should go back to eating.
Okay, sure. Seems reasonable. Avalon would probably do the same thing. He probably would just ask Tiani if there's anything you needed from him before he needed to go.
Oh, no, I'm just gonna try and see if I can get all my friends here into a spot that they would like. Motion with all the flowers and plants.
As you're like
Wait,
looking at
plants?
plants? Yes. Can you roll
Is
me
it finally time to channel divinity?
Yikes. No, don't do this. Can you roll me a nature check, please, Tiani?
Fair do it, bro. You can't stop me.
Alright, yeah, looking at this, you think it should be okay. There's a little bit of sunlight coming through the window. If you put them on all on the desk and have them just mostly on the desk, they'll probably also be fine.
And if they don't, we can just druid craft them back to their,
exactly.
beautiful state. Figure out what's wrong, what they need, Probably to figure out later.
As you are figuring this out, you hear a knock on the door.
I come in.
The door opens. You see a large man. He's about like 6'7". You saw him as the other man who was standing up at the table with the presumed head teacher. This man seems like he's very big, looks very strong, and he has like long blonde hair, blue eyes, and a single part, like his hair mostly is just out, and then he has a single braid on the right. Probably should just introduce myself. I'm Fionn, I'm the teacher for the Green Flames. Sorry I didn't really say anything before. I got kind of, it's one of the weeks where they're giving meat, and it was really good meat, and I was kind of getting very into the eating. Sorry about that. But I'm here now. If you have any questions, anything you want to do. Oh, and before I forget, he kind of fumbles around in a little bag and pulls out a key. This is for you.
Tiani will take the key. I'm sorry for barging in earlier. I was just told to go up the steps and into the doors, and I didn't realize that everyone was kind of in the middle of something.
Oh no, it's just lunchtime. I think the only person you like got a little bit flustered is Valorius, and to be honest, he probably would have got flustered at that anyway. Kind of has a bad habit of not thinking before he speaks.
That's alright. Sorry. Is there anything else you needed?
Oh no, is there anything you need from me?
Would you happen to have a map or some sorts?
A map?
Yeah,
Don't actually
very
have
large
a
place.
It is a rather large place, but I don't actually have a map. I can kind of just tell you the general direction of places you need to go, and otherwise I would just suggest, that Kalen kid, or he has like this place on lockdown. To be honest, he knows what the fuck is going on everywhere. But otherwise, I think you can just ask. I'm mostly around. Kind of almost slipped my mind that there are classes that you need to be going to. Obviously, it is a school. If you give me 1 second, and he kind of just walks down the hall to the left, like literally to the room next to you on your left. And he opens something up, kind of fumbles around for a bit. You hear a couple crashes, and then he goes, "All right, so I got this little book, and there's a little list of all the different classes you can take. Now, if any of them strike your fancy, just go ahead and let me know if any of them are ones that you kind of like the idea of. Now, kind of important with this, not all of the classes are going to be available, so I would just go ask the teachers which ones are going to be available, and you got to pick 2, because you'll have one during the morning and one during the afternoon every day for the week. I mean, you can change them every couple of weeks or every week or so, but while this list is rather exhaustive of all the stuff that they can do, they might not be running everything, so bear that in mind. They might also have things that clash, which is very awkward. But long story short, you can kind of just go ask the teachers. Now, out of character, in the Flames downtime RP chat, pinned messages, there's a list of all of the different classes and all of the different people there. And every week we'll just write down oh, I want to do this one and that one, kind of thing. And then I'll tell you if it works,
Okay.
By that I mean we kind of just say it, and then fucking Koi writes it all out, which is hilarious. No, I mean, I guess the other thing is, like, if you need any help, just ask any of the other students. They've all been here long enough. They kind of know what's going on. That's pretty much it, as far as I can think of right now. Huh.
Yeah, I've just met Kalen and he seems pretty knowledgeable at the place, so if I do have any further questions, I will ask him about it.
Doing a
Yeah, I
test
mean,
roll
that guy
for you,
just kind of
Reg.
has everything on lockdown when it comes to books and random crap. I don't
That
know.
shouldn't be that. Okay, I fucked up.
That's big brain. That's. Oof.
But like, it shouldn't be an attack. I don't know why it's an attack.
You gotta untick the thing at the top, and then it should work.
What thing at the top?
We'll sort it out in a second. It's fine. But yes,
Is it?
kind of thing goes. So if there's nothing you need, I'm gonna go for my class. Actually,
You got it.
I'm gonna be doing a class on nature. You're welcome to join if you want. Seems like you kind of like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I would love
Right.
to join.
All right. Cool. Give me 1 second. And he kind of just like goes down to the other room again, and you see him kind of fumble around with stuff, and he pulls out like what looks like a really large rake, and then goes, "All right, then follow me." I'm not gonna cut to Sinric and Petra. You guys have been, sitting down, chilling, eating, as you do.
As we
It's getting to the. What was that, Scott?
My plate has been cleaned.
Absolutely clean, as you do. As you are sitting down and casually eating, you see very quickly Bernadetta finishes her food, shoots off. Abaddon comes back, very quickly gets through his food, reads his book for a little bit, and then seems to wander off. And Violet seems to just, like, her food is, like, barely been touched, and she seems to just be kind of, like, poking it with her fork at this point. What are you guys doing?
Is it time for lessons?
Yeah, pretty much,
Why
yeah.
got that wrong?
I'm sorry, what?
Pet,
Didn't hear what you said, it was muffly.
You should go turn the Violet. The Violet, what wrong?
Oh, no, nothing. I just, I don't know. This is not really to my taste, I guess.
Insight?
Food?
Go ahead, roll insight, go ahead.
I'll roll insight as well since I'm asking about it.
Yeah, go ahead. Alright, yeah, you can both obviously tell. She is not being truthful. It's not just the food.
I'm gonna
The food may
squint.
play a small part, but seems like there's definitely something else going on there.
Petra's just gonna squint at her.
Well, I don't think. I mean, if you want to talk about stuff, I have a lot of problems that people talk to me about sometimes, and that helps. So if you have a problem,
Yeah, you see Violet kind of glances at Petra for like a split second, and then goes back to poking her food, and just goes, "No, it's okay. I don't think it's like a problem or anything. The food, it's just not that good, I guess. Or I mean, I guess it's good, but it's just not for me. I don't know."
well,
Petra's gonna reach over and put her hand on top of her hand and shake it and go, what's wrong?
You do that,
Squish.
and you're stuck.
Steep.
And she kind of just looks for a second and just goes, "Petra, you remember what happened last time? We're gonna be
What
stuck
wrong?
for ages now." So I don't. What do you mean? What's wrong? I don't. She kind of just gives you a very soured-looking face.
you're pushing too hard, Petra. If she doesn't want to talk about it, then don't make her.
Not pushing, pulling, and then you click it off.
For fuck's sake.
Oh.
Like, okay, give me. You see her try and pull away for a second. Oh, come on. The last time this happened, we were stuck for like 3 hours, Petra. We're not even in the same class. You try and help, and you get stuck to Petra as well.
Oh my god.
Now
This is
you're
what
all
happens
like-
when I'm
I
not
wouldn't have been
around.
touching Petra, dude. I would have
Too
been
late.
pulling on my...
No, you were pulling on Violet, and then you slipped, and boom,
Oh, no.
attached to Petra. But you're like attached
Okay.
further up the arm.
I've made a slight miscalculation in my attempts to help.
Okay,
It's safe
so
to say I will never attempt to help anyone again.
What class?
I've done
He
this.
needs to get
Fine,
Petra a
I
pair
will-
of gloves.
I go before I chatted about what class?
I don't actually have a class. I lied.
Wait, what? How can you not have a
Haven't-
class?
The
Squint.
classes that I wanted to go to weren't on this week, so I haven't been going to classes in the afternoons.
In the distance, you hear very offended.
Well, what classes did you want to do that aren't on?
Well, I was meant to be doing, well, faiths, and then I was meant to be talking to Vaxus about doing a slightly different class about like ancient history kind of thing. I was trying to make my own class, but it kind of just wasn't working, and then I didn't have enough time to ask anybody to go to their classes, so I kind of just ended up with no classes because Vaxus is doing his wizardry and politics right now, and
That why, sir?
wizardries they're kind of just boring. I'm a little bit, but also just I don't have anything to do. It gets really boring.
Come
Well,
with.
why don't you...
And like
yeah,
throw the
come with
hand
one of us.
towards, and then like it's like, oh yeah, her hand stuck to me, so she doesn't
Yeah.
really have a choice.
And she's
Get
like,
up
oh,
and
like, okay, fine. Can you give me a second? And she kind of just like fumbles with something in like a little pouch, and then goes, fine, I'm ready. It's fine. Let's go. You see, Abaddon has just not noticed any of this at all.
What?
Okay,
So
wait,
it's over
Petra, what class are we going to?
Language.
No, I don't want to do languages.
You're like, get a second job, become a woman.
Abaddon! Abaddon!
Just like walking away from them along.
I'll roll a perception check for Abaddon to see if he actually notices. Perception. Oh, it takes after the second Abaddon, he kind of like absentmindedly goes, yes, Senric, what's up?
Help me! Grab my hand!
What do you mean? And he kind of looks up.
I'm
and he
holding
goes,
the other
Oh,
The
Yeah.
non-stuck one.
yeah. And he goes, okay. And he's gonna make a strength check to see if he can pull you off real quick. And kind of like tries to pull for a second, and then he's like, do I really need to do this again? Like, seriously again?
I tried, but I'm not strong enough. Please don't make me go to languages. Languages involve a lot of talking and a lot of people that I haven't had classes with, and it's scary.
Okay, fine. Pulls again. He kind of like half pulls with one hand, and it doesn't seem like it's really pulling you at all. It's kind of just stopping everybody from going rather than actually pulling you off.
Have fun in languages.
Yeah, I guess I'll just let go. It's okay. You tried. I'll maybe never see you again.
Well, that's fine. And he goes back to his book. Petra is pulling the rest of the party off to languages. Deani, you are getting dragged off to nature and wilderness.
Yeah.
And Kellen, I think yours would be politics.
Yeah.
So, Vaxus, you literally just go down
Yep.
one
Pretty
floor.
much.
And that, yeah. So we will move on to later on in the night, past the actual, classes. The classes seem to be the languages class is rather populated today, actually, with lots of people there for various different languages. It seems like there is Esther, Thea, Alyssa, Bertrand is there, and who else would be there? I think that's pretty much everybody. And in the in Fion's class, there is literally just you and Philera, Fioni. So you see a rather large, large Paladonian woman who just kind of seems to be doing the majority of the class is on like basic nature work and stuff like that, and then he talks a lot about trying to grow things in the cold around here, because obviously he's like it's a lot colder than what both of you guys are used to, and he talks about the different types of plants you can grow here, but also the different types of plants you can forage from around the forest at the base of the Darkfall mountain. Now, with your boy Kalen, it is you and Saskia's also in the languages class. But yes, Kalen, it is literally you, and I think that's it.
Oh, good.
In your class.
Good. Full attention.
So,
Teacher's pet. Let's
full
go.
attention. And it goes through a lot of politics to do. Well, the majority of this is actually coming to a head towards, like in the last couple of months, any politics you've been talking about has been mostly towards the founding wars and how like that kind of played out. Can you roll me an intelligence check, please?
Can I roll you an intelligence?
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, I can
It's good
roll
to be
you an
back, right?
intelligence check.
Um,
Even if it's a 13, it's an intelligence check.
The last couple of months has been a kind of thing where there have been a couple of things that Vaxis has said that seems slightly off, but you can't tell exactly what was off. And it was more just like you weren't sure if he was like only using one source, or like it was just a case of like it was just slightly conflicting to what you already knew, and maybe you just taught something different when you were in
Yeah, it's just Rilgan
school.
propaganda. It's like
yeah,
it's
but something
filthy lies and
seemed
bullshit.
off about it before. Now he is talking about specifically, since you're here, the Paladonian and Rilgan empire, like the empire, the two different empires, the kingdom and the empire, and how they played a part in the founding war.
Yeah.
Except, roll me another intelligence check, please.
And how the
Actually, it'd be
Paladonians
history.
are the beacon of
History
light.
with advantage.
Oh, big yes.
Big yes. Oh, it's just not coming through for me. Okay,
18.
Yeah, as you are being told a lot of this stuff, it is not necessarily what you expected. And that's not a case of... so what you were initially taught in the Founding War is that the Rilgans and the Paladonians didn't play a huge part in it, and they kind of just were more border skirmishes between the two of them. The Rilgans kind of moved into Zizian. I'll pull you onto the actual map so you can kind of see what is being talked about. The Rilgans kind of push into Zizian space during the Founding War. The Paladonians kind of took some Rilgan land down here and then was kind of just sorting out borders everywhere else, right? And that's what it seemed. And as he's talking about what he's talking about, it kind of doesn't make sense to you, because what he is mentioning is, rather than it being the case, it's that the Paladonians took land from the Rilgans more than anything, and then also took land from other people and just expanded themselves. The Rilgan Empire was as big as it was before, which seemed odd to you. And then he mentions a very specific line where he says, oh, and yes, of course, Varius itself was a lot larger. The Paladonians and the Rilgans made large amounts of ground on the Varian Empire, making it as small as it is today. Which you basically had no idea was the case, or whether it's the case or not. As far as you've known, the Varian, the country of Varius down here, has always been this small.
Yeah.
And it kind of didn't play a part in any war.
Yeah. Yeah.
sus.
Yeah.
Caledonian looking kind of suspiciously like Nazi Germany.
What the fuck?
What?
How did you get that from that?
What the fuck?
You're just trying to be
All the
inflammatory,
Rogans
you
over there.
fucking bitch.
Paradonian looking
That
at you.
escalated quickly. Okay.
These cunts are the Nazis, if anything.
What do you mean?
You know, everyone thinks
How
they're
about
the
we
good
just not
guy.
refer anybody to the Nazis?
Are the Rogans like Nazis? Yes or no?
I'm gonna
Caledonian
no.
Nazis?
Well,
No.
my grandfather told me a lot of
Nobody
really
is.
awful things about the
Your
Rogans.
grandfather was
And
Hitler.
the
They're
things that they
awful
used to
things, but
do.
we're not talking about any of that. Okay, let's move on.
Well, I
Move
want to
on.
know about that, so...
Oh Jesus. Jesus.
What country is Germany?
None of them.
Caledonian.
Jesus.
Can you stop being so antagonistic, please?
Can you stop shitting on the Rogans?
No.
No. So what was the founding war even
Alright.
about, bro?
So from as far as you remember, roll me a history check.
That's why I'm in politics.
Yeah, exactly. Michael. But just roll me a history check on what you already know, basically. Oh yeah. So from what you remember, the founding war was about basically on your side of the map. It's just small border skirmishes, everybody organizing their current lands and the way it is, and making it a bit more organized. But the majority of it was they took a lot of land from all of these 4 people, and they basically just like there were several empires that spread the entire side, like basically like this. On everything on the left of it was Belial, Nemanja, Brian, Enya, and then a couple other empires, and
Yeah.
the rest of you kind of banded together, sort of ish, kind of.
Let's
Mostly fighting
not,
between each other as well.
let's not,
but
let's
just-
not throw the Paladonians in the same ring as the fucking Rogans, alright?
In that case, they actually did work. As far as you know, they quote unquote worked together
Yeah, well,
against a greater evil. In this,
Wow.
as far as you've been told. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's true. And as you're getting this information here, the information you're getting from Faxis seems to be focusing more on everything on the right side of this second blue line that I've drawn, and how it's a lot. It seems a lot more brutal between the countries here than they tell you. And one of the other things that you find that's rather interesting was the fact that the Morvanian Empire seemed to just stay almost exactly as it was, and the Barumian Empire just shrunk, like, massively.
Okay.
Yep. So, as everybody is, I'll just get rid of this line real quick. Everybody is finishing off their classes. Very nice little classes here today. The languages classes, for the rest of you, it's mostly just to do with whatever. You know how Yahate is. He kind of just does whatever language you want to do, gives you a couple things here, talks to you in those languages, trying to get you to be cool for whatever, He doesn't really care. Like, he cares, but he doesn't really mind what you want to do, right?
I actually don't know what Yahata's like in languages, because I don't want to be here.
Good. Too late. But you guys are all stuck together, which makes it rather difficult for him to give you any worksheets or anything.
I'm doing one-handed sign language.
Yes. Big one-handed sign language. He signs stuff back to you. It's a little bit difficult. And it doesn't seem like you guys are going to get unstuck anytime soon.
God damn it.
Dinner rolls around. And before dinner, there's like an hour or two usually where you can do what you want, basically. Is there anything in particular any of you guys are doing?
Is there like water fountains around?
There are indeed. Well, they're not really water fountains, but you can go get water.
I need water.
Water. You're dragging them off to go get water.
Yeah, they're coming with me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you drag them off to go get water. It seems like Violet is like she's surprisingly strong, but she's not really she's very thin and fragile. So you kind of just drag her everywhere without any issue.
Cedric's
however-
just being dragged along right now.
Yeah, he just kind of accepts his fate.
I just want to be free. I need alone
Yeah.
time.
Violet is going to attempt to
You can
split you
keep that
guys
hand when
one more
you're
time. Oh, as you get water and as you're drinking away, she does manage to just about peel herself off. Cynic, however, she doesn't help peel you off. And once she's got herself off, she goes, well, that's good. I'm going to go now. You two have fun. Bye. And she kind of just walks off.
Bye.
Okay, then I'm sticky. Hello? Uh-oh. That can't be good. My internet. Hello?
What?
Hello.
My internet did a big die.
Yeah.
My roll
Yeah.
20 did a big
The
die.
stream's still going, so that's good.
Yeah, the
That's
stream's still going.
something, yeah.
What the hell?
I started refreshing roll 20 because I had a thing stuck on my screen. And then like my internet was just like,
Yep.
well, we back now.
Okay, cool.
Everything's fine.
Everything's still good then?
Yeah.
Cool. Yes. So, Petra and Cynric, who are now attached to each other forever, ever. What are you guys doing?
Drinking water.
Drinking the water. Cynric, you might have noticed this a couple times before already. Petra seems to be drinking a lot of water. By that I mean, like, she literally has, like, a pint cup of water, and she's just completely chugged the entire thing, and then she's gone back for more in the space of about, like, 10 minutes.
Okay.
I have
back
the
for
big
way
cup.
more.
She is
She has the
thirsty
big
hoe then.
Yeah, dude. Alright, anything else you want to do, Cynic?
Yeah, can I stand up and put our hands in the water, wherever it's coming from?
Yeah, okay. There's like a little fountain, and you put your hands in the water, and your hands are now wet and still stuck.
No, but I remember 4 months ago she took a bath.
There's no water about the body.
I'm just gonna keep trying to pull myself free.
Yeah, okay, strength check. Oh, yes. As you like kind of stuck to her, like, and she's still sticking to you even though her hand is now wet, you kind of pull as hard as you can and kind of like, you honestly pull so hard you land up on your butt, but you're free of her now.
Run.
And she started
Cool.
standing there chugging water.
Yep.
I
She be
do
chugging.
the opposite of running. I roll onto my front and just lie there.
Yeah, you are roll onto your front. Starfish. Hand covered in water.
I'm just gonna.
Looked at it, I'm like, huh?
I'm just gonna rest here, Petra, for an hour before dinner.
Tired?
Don't mind me. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
hug?
Definitely not.
Why tired?
A lot of people talking. People.
But you no talk.
Yes, but I was thinking about talking constantly.
You do Kaylin.
What?
What?
She's getting it confused with message.
Oh.
Which is funny because Cynric was the one who started that.
That's true.
didn't get
I do
it.
have message.
I didn't get message to level 2.
You talking head like Kaylin.
Oh, I mean, I can do that. I wasn't doing that. I was just thinking.
She just looks at him confused.
I think there's some fish in the dining hall. Solitude.
She gone. All right. We will jump to Tiani, who actually at the end of your session with Fionn and Philera, Fionn kind of pauses for a second and then goes, "So, what's with the little flower monster? Never seen anything like that, and I've seen a lot of monsters in my time."
I wouldn't call Alice a monster. She's actually really friendly. Just kind of, you know, look down at, Alice kind of near her feet, and kind of pretty too. She crawled out of a pot of sand one day, and well, here she is. hasn't left since.
Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel like that thing could rip my arm off.
Maybe. I haven't really seen Alice be aggressive. I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay. Well,
Would you happen to have a pair of gardening gloves around here? I have a
gardening
friend in
gloves?
my dorm that's kind of sticky.
Oh, you mean Petra?
Yeah.
We tried that. Kind of made it a bit difficult for her. I think at one point she had some gloves on and then her hands got stuck to the gloves, and then it got to a point where she literally got agitated because she couldn't eat food properly because of the gloves. Yeah, no, there are quite a few pairs of burnt leather gloves. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of better to just leave her being sticky. She's kind of got used to it.
Alright, sounds good. Well, your class was very informative, and I've enjoyed it very much.
Oh, well,
Yes,
I've
yes.
never had anybody call my class informative before, but sure. I'll take it.
From where I'm from, it doesn't really get cold there. The desert's pretty hot and it's cool at night, but it's not ever really been cold, and growing plants in the cold is a new concept to me.
I guess that's true. Yeah, well, if you ever want to go, well, I mean, I guess the others, I think it's Cynric. He goes hunting sometimes, foraging sometimes. I'd say talk to him if you want to talk about that kind of stuff. I do sometimes myself, but most of the time I'm having to be, paperwork at night rather than doing anything fun. So, yeah.
I think it would be best to go with somebody as well. Knowing myself, I'll probably get myself lost.
Oh no, don't worry. Plenty of the people around here have got themselves lost plenty of times.
Well,
Within
that
the
makes
last
me
couple
feel
months, I think 5 people went missing, and then a couple people got kidnapped. But we don't. Don't worry about that. They're back. and they're
Inspiring
safe.
confidence in the new girl.
Yeah.
Is that normal? Does that happen often? Should I be?
Well, no, it wasn't normal, and it hasn't happened since. So it should be fine,
How long
right?
ago was this?
About 4 or 5 months ago now, actually. Oh, it's actually one of the girls in the Green Flames, Bernadette. She was kidnapped. She doesn't talk much.
That's information.
She's fine, I think. I mean, I don't know if she's fine. She doesn't talk to me much, so I can't really say. But I mean, she's still here, so I guess that's probably fine, I think.
Thanks for that information.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go set some traps, so I'll go do that before dinner. See ya. Have a good time before dinner, I guess. I don't know.
Which way is the dinner hall again? Sorry.
Oh, and he kind of points, so you kind of came down the mountain somewhat, and around it a bit, and you went past a little entrance into the mountain.
Yep.
It's sort of into the mountain, and then went down a little bit further to it's just a little alcove area where he's kind of just next to a bunch of it's more than anything, it's a little clearing on the path on the mountain, and he kind of just set up shop there and started talking about plants there, which kind of didn't really make any sense to you because it's not really close. It's not far enough down the mountain that there's actually any forest, but it's also not high enough up the mountain that there's any of the arenas or anything. Not much you passed by that would have made sense. It's literally just a small little plateau on the road that he kind of just sat his butt down and started talking about things on. And he brought the rake, but he did nothing with the rake the entire time that the session was there. And yeah, no, he literally like points back up the mountain. Just go down the mountain and up, and once you get to the but once you get to the combat arenas, I doubt you'll be able to miss it. And if you do, there's probably going to be somebody fighting in the combat arenas or something. I don't know.
Alright.
Yeah, you'll probably be fine at that point. Literally, just go up and you'll find it. Oh, and
Well,
I mean,
thank you for the
can go in.
class.
Oh well, yeah, no problem. And along the way there is the stables. You can go in there if you want. I don't know if your hut is in there, but I wouldn't recommend it because giant wyverns and all. You don't want to really get eaten without other people. I'd wait until you at least have had a couple sessions with mounted stuff with your hut before you go there.
Of course.
I mean, luckily so far nobody's been eaten, so.
Well, that's great news. Too bad we can't say the same about kidnappings, huh?
Just a couple pets have been eaten, but that's about it.
Pets?
Oh well, one of the girls had a pig. She kind of got shipped over. Adorable little thing. One day she left it in the stable, managed to get out of its little cage, went into one of the wyvern's cages, chomp. Natural order of things,
Who the fuck bought a pig?
Yeah. I mean,
You would know
if
this.
I bought a pig, a meal on legs. Pretty sure leaving it somewhere, you're expecting it to be devoured.
Valera starts crying. It's like her pig this whole time.
It was her pig. Yeah. There's actually her pig, which is the funny part.
Really?
It's kind of yeah.
That's Valera.
And she kind of just like you see like she's already gone by now, and he goes, "Oh yeah, no, it's fine."
Could you imagine, dude? That would have been so mean.
And he kind of goes, "You know, it hurts, and but don't want to talk about it too much." She was really attached to the pig. We called it Mr. Piggles. Don't know.
Oh dear. Well, Siani's gonna, kind of break off the conversation and go to the mess hall, the dining area.
All right, yeah, sure. Make your way up towards the dining area. Yes. Along the way, you obviously pass the little alcove, like the door into the mountain, which you now assume is the stables. As you make your way all the way further up, you notice there are a couple other places along the way. Like there are there's like an archery area, it seems. There's a couple different combat arenas, and then there's like a bigger arena with like a lot of different sets that are kind of along the way. And then as you like getting to the point where you can see those, you can see just up a little bit further, there is indeed also a like little hall, which you now know is the mess hall, and it's connected to all of the other ones. Ooh.
Alright, I'm just gonna go in and wait for everyone else.
Okay. You go in and you see that there's quite literally nobody there. Yet.
Yeah, just gonna sit there and wait.
Cool. Kellen, what you doing?
It's after class, right?
Politics is finished with Vaxus.
Yeah. Go study, probably.
Fucking nerd.
Stop.
Yes, the nerd goes to study, as you would expect of a goddamn nerd.
Look,
Yes.
I gotta keep my big brain occupied with all of these things so that I can distract myself from my overwhelming racism, bro.
Keep your brain wrinkled.
Yeah, you go to study. Are you going to your room or the library?
Going to... Oh, I assume I have study materials from my classes.
Yeah, study materials from your classes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like study materials handed out at the beginning of the week? Or like,
For
is
you,
it
with
progressively?
Vaxus, yeah,
Throughout
he
the
would do
week?
that.
Like progressively
Like
throughout
it'd
the
probably
week?
be probably progressively throughout the week.
Oh, okay.
You do it. But, like,
Asshole. Because I just do it all
Yes.
in one day. That was like,
Yeah, exactly. And he noticed that you were doing that, and he stopped
yeah, fair
and
enough.
started giving it like day by day. But he was also giving you a lot more than he was before. To be fair,
Hmm.
so it's not like you're like running out too much. To be fair, he's like literally quadrupled the amount he was giving you at the beginning of the year. But he's still like spreading it out, so you actually have stuff to do at different points rather than just doing it all in one go and then being like, well, that's my entire week's plan gone.
Yeah, would literally just go and do that for like an
Yeah,
hour
okay.
or two, and then go to dinner.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yes. So, Tiani, as you're waiting in the mess hall, about 5 minutes after you've been waiting, just kind of chilling, Petra comes in.
Oh, hey!
Hi.
Fucking new girl sitting by herself.
Well, there's just no where anything is or where anybody is. Or...
Is the food out already?
No, it is not.
It's like 2 hours before it's gonna be out, dude. It's like an hour or two break.
She's gonna come in and pout because there's no fish.
Yeah.
Where the fish at?
Where fish?
Where the fish?
And then she's gonna like walk back out and head straight back to Simric.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Pissed her up.
Just enjoying his life. Face down on the ground. Peace and quiet.
As you can hear, it has literally been Petra who's walked in, said hi, then realised no fish, and left. So Tiani, what are you doing? Staying there?
I'm staying in the mess hall?
Yeah. Are you staying in the mess hall? Going anywhere else?
Yeah. China's gonna
Staying in
like
the mess hall.
whip out some like pen and paper and shit and start like writing down notes from that class that she had.
Nice.
Fucking nerd.
Okay.
Fucking
Petra,
stupid
you make
AK
your way
idiot.
to where Sinric is face down in a plate of nachos.
Whoa, where'd I get these nachos from, dude?
Yeah, the nachos is your anxiety. Thank you.
Oh, yes.
She's just gonna grab his hand and just drag him away.
Yep. Kidnapping Sinric.
What? Where are we going? Why have you touched me again?
No fish. Come with. Gonna drag him to the mess hall.
Why?
Alright, yeah, you drag Sinric to the mess hall, much to his disapproval.
To get up off the floor, am I just dragging him across the floor?
You're just dragging him. He's still moving.
Yeah, we're gonna drag him across the floor, down the stairs, wherever we need to go.
Yeah, you do that. It's pretty much just like across the floor rather than anything. You kind of drag him through the mud a little bit and the snow. He kind of just accepts it. Ends up looking a little bit more peasantly than he did when he started.
She shudders when she goes outside.
Just like home. I look like I've been dragged through the mud. Time to give myself a black eye and we can truly get that back at home feeling.
Hey.
Jesus
So yes, you make it
Christ,
to the
Jackie.
mess hall.
Oh, welcome back!
Just gonna like just drag him over to where the food usually is. No fish.
Yes, I know there's no fish. I said fish to get you to leave me alone.
She just looks shocked at him.
I mean, there is also a possibility there'll be fish at dinner. I don't know what's on the menu. I don't eat fish.
She's even more shocked.
Stop digging yourself a deeper hole, dude.
Can you let me go now?
She just kind of like shakes her hand.
I'm gonna try and help get them apart. Oh wait, no.
No, don't go there. Don't do it. Don't risk it. I risked it and then I had to go to languages.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Oh, it was terrible.
The more languages you know, the more you can communicate better with other people.
I don't want to communicate with anyone.
Oh. You wouldn't be too open to going out on nature trips together then.
Oh no, that's fine. I like nature.
Okay.
Just
I
don't
do
talk
too.
too much.
Are you asking him out on a date?
Caitlin, are you here? Is that you?
No, I'm not talking in my
Get the fuck out of here. We ain't going on a date.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Sounds pretty datey to me.
Oh god.
You want to go on a nature walk with me?
Oh god. Quite. It's a peasant.
Oh, I need some water. 1 sec.
And Petra looks like she needs some water too.
Petra needs a lot.
Boy, when he's gone. I'm joking.
Am I free with the 17?
Yeah, you are. You kind of just about peel yourself off as you're still face down on the floor.
He's gonna try to look
Nearest
at
corner.
this guy. He said he doesn't
Don't
like
look at
fish.
me like
Look
that.
at him.
I don't like any
Petra.
meat.
Have you always kind of been like that?
Hmm?
The stickiness.
No.
Alright, good talk.
Oh, fuck. Why did I go to the goddamn mess hall?
You're slowly figuring out that none of us like talking.
Except for Kaylin. Yeah, it's like the only people in this party who like talking are the NPCs and Kaylin.
Yeah.
And even
Yeah,
then,
like, I was kind of expecting more after it. Petra's just looking at you like confused, like why?
Yeah, Tiana is looking at your sticky body kind of confused too.
She is wearing uniform, so all you can see is like her hands.
well, you can see the uniform stuck to her body.
Oh yeah, that's very like skin tight.
Are Petra's nipples perpetually erect?
Perception?
Not that far.
Because she doesn't wear a bra, I assume. Getting her to wear clothes is hard enough already.
Where's my fucking D20? I roll a 20 to 30.
Okay.
Sure.
What the fuck?
I didn't think this far. It's a 3.
Oh, okay.
Got used to it at this point.
And she can't
Alright.
exactly burn it with like the gloves.
If only she
Caleb,
was.
were you actually making your way to the mess hall?
If only she was a tiefling, then she'd be wet and horny. Not until I'm done with my. I mean, Kalen's a compartmentalizer. He's gonna like have a schedule planned out where he's gonna study for this amount of time on his own things, and then prepare for study group for the rest of the time.
Of course.
So
I just realized Petra still has the glass.
She does.
She's
And then
gonna
he-
look at it and then get thirsty and then go get more water.
then he give himself about 15 minutes or so to go to the library and look around for monster hunting books, like information on different monsters and things.
Investigation check, please.
Yeah. Oh!
Yeah. You look around, and most of the books that you've already got for monster hunting, you've either read or somebody else has read.
Well, I'm getting
And
it
you
for
know that-
Sinric, so.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you kind of look at them and you're like, most of these are either really, really inaccurate as far as you've seen, like absurdly inaccurate, like really stupidly inaccurate, or Sinric's already actually read them by this
Okay.
point because it's been like a couple months, right?
Then I'll look around briefly and then sit down at one of the tables and just write like a quick I'll just write up a quick quiz covering a lot of the basics of what we've covered over the past 4 months.
Easily enough for you. The rest of you, before, don't know, is there anything that you wanted to do?
Chugging water.
Crawl to a corner of the mess hall.
You have a
My
dorm,
head in
bro.
the corner. Yeah, but that requires effort to get up and walk there.
Kinda wanna like rip up little pieces of paper from our notebook and like push it up into little balls and flick it at Petra and see if it sticks.
Roll me a dexterity check.
Oh boy. Oh, that's a save, hold on.
Yeah, no, you miss. As Petra is leaving. Petra then goes to get water, and I assume, do you come back? Or are you just gonna go? Come back?
Back, I guess, and just sit where Tiani is and just patiently wait for food.
It doesn't take too long, about half an hour until the food actually begins to come and people begin filtering into the mess hall. You can see that the majority of people seem like they've been doing a lot of different kind of things. You can tell some people are still just got books and stuff like that, as you do. And as you were in the library, Kenan, you noticed that Abaddon and a couple of others came in to like see, like just check stuff. Those being Thea, Sarah, and Rilgar. Went to the library during the time you were there. Very briefly, it seems for almost all of them. Thea seemed to just have been there when you got there, and then just been and was still there when you, like, I assume, left for dinner. And as the rest of you are like getting to, like, or sorry, as the rest of you are in the mess hall, Kalen makes his way there very briefly before everybody else does. And by that I mean like everybody else in the Green Flames.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I would get up at some point just before like food's gonna come in.
You do indeed get up.
Sit at the table.
Yeah, you sit down at the table. The food does indeed come, and it seems to be a fish broth. With lots and lots of leek.
Leak.
It got very substantially worse.
Kaylin's gonna go in and
There is
sit
a lot
down.
of fish.
There is a lot of fish. She's gonna like try and like scoop it so she doesn't get much leak.
Yeah.
So just doing the opposite.
I was like,
And just any that's like any fish that's taken in, just hands the bowl to Petra when he's done with the leak.
Nice.
I'm gonna show this like a procedure where she puts like a napkin over her hand so she doesn't stick to the spoon or the ladle.
Yep. Classic. And then you're just stuck to the napkin for the rest of the night. Or as a
It'll be something that she can like peel off easier, but like she'll just use it to cover her hand.
Yeah.
So she's not sticking the pieces
Napkin.
and like sticking the stuff so they can eat.
Cloth napkins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, the rest of you settle down, begin eating. Unless there's anything you'd like to do during dinner.
Yes. Kaylin
Yes.
will get some food and sit down. And
Hey,
so,
welcome back.
oh, thank you. How are you settling in, Tiani?
I'm just doing alright. Our first class is amazing. Learned quite a few things, and it's actually been really nice here, except for hearing that some people went missing and things that are kind of unsavory.
Oh,
someone's
yes.
pig also.
Ah,
fucking
yes,
died.
Mr. Pickles. Yes, I was present at his funeral. It was a somber day for the Price family,
It was a
but
funeral?
of course.
Alright.
Yes, as for the missing persons, yes, that was a rather strange series of events. thankfully, the missing people have been returned. We actually had a hand in that, kind of looking around at Sinric and Petra.
Yep.
Yes, unsure as to the motivations or the ultimate goal of the people that attempted the kidnapping, but yes, everything's been quiet for quite a few months. I will. I'm glad that you brought it up, actually, because I'd like to warn you officially that every night in our dorm I set up alarms and I designate people who should be there to not trigger the alarms. So you will have free passage to and fro, of course, but if anyone who is not on the list is brought into the dormitory, the alarms will go off. It's happened
So if I
a couple of
invite
times.
a friend, that would trigger the alarms.
Yes, I do it before everyone goes to sleep, so as long as it's
Okay,
not in the middle of the night, it should be fine.
gotcha. And Alice too?
Would would the familiars be constituted as like needing to be designated as safe creatures?
Familiars, probably not. So Alexander, no, but Asta, technically yes. As far as you've noticed.
Oh,
Asta did-
I don't have a limit on it.
Yeah, no, exactly. So Asta would have, if you had have not
Yeah.
designated Asta, it would have pinged at one point.
Yes,
Whatever.
of course. I will ensure that that your companion does not trigger any alarms.
And does it make a noise? Like,
Yes, yes, it will
Okay.
most likely alert every single person in the tower. So, yes, that's
Did
happened.
last time.
It did indeed.
The teacher, Theon, speaks very highly of you. He said if I need, directions anywhere to ask you
Oh,
or
your
any information.
was your class with Theon?
Yeah,
Ah.
nature and
I assume-
whatever it's class.
When you said you learnt things, I assumed you were talking about like Morgan or Vaxis, but yes, Theon is a wonderful person. He's quite a good house leader.
He's the leader of our house.
Yes, he's the he stays
Oh.
in the dorms with us. He has his own room.
Oh, like exactly right next to Tiani. She sees that now. That's why he pulled the rake out of the room there. I thought that was some sort of storage closet, but no, makes sense now.
Yes, well, I'm glad you had a wonderful time. Here's to many more.
Yeah, hopefully, hopefully I don't get kidnapped.
About this point, as you guys are talking, most of the people in the academy begin to filter in. Almost all the teachers are there, most of the mists, most of the tomes, most of the shields, as per usual. And Esther sits herself down with a little bowl of food next to Kaelin. Hi, Kaelin. Yeah, sorry, I haven't
good
seen
evening.
you much today.
Yes, I've been taking languages as opposed to, sorry, I've been taking politics as opposed to languages.
Yes, no, I know. It's been a week or two since you've been doing that.
Yes, well, it's good to get multiple perspectives on things.
Yes, of course. We were just doing some work on. I was, and so was Satya on Vikan specifically because we hadn't really read up on that much, and I thought and she kind of goes, give me a second. She pulls out a little book, a little notebook, which that she got semi recently in the last month or so, and almost completely full. There is notes literally everywhere in this little book now, and she kind of pulls out she flips to almost the end of it, where she goes, "Oh, I should probably just bring this later. I just wanted to point it out. I kind of wrote a lot of notes on it, and I wasn't sure whether you'd be interested in it, and whether maybe we should go over it with some of the others tonight. I don't know."
What is she pointing at exactly?
She's pointing at notes on the Vican language.
Ah, yes, of course. I believe Petra is participating in that class, so...
She is, but I think she's still trying to get common more than anything.
yes, well, that would be rather advantageous. Alright,
And she's doing a lot better than before, to be fair.
she's getting
She
there.
smiled
I agree.
widely, not wildly, widely at Petra.
Petra's got a bowl in her face, so she can't see shit.
She kind of frowns.
So, that brings me on to my next point. Tiani, we have a study group going on that you are more than welcome to join if you feel so inclined. We usually gather every night, if not every other night, to cover things that we've learnt during the day and just generally prepare for the next class and go over things that we've learned and teach other people things that they've learned and just generally study together.
Sounds great. It'd be nice to have you around to ask questions and stuff as well. You seem fairly knowledgeable.
I try. This is Esther, by the way. Esther, Tiani Esther.
Hello, Esther.
Like a small, very fast wave past. She's sitting on the opposite side of Kaylin. She kind of pokes her head around. Small wave. I guess I probably should have introduced myself, but hi, I'm Esther.
Tiani, a pleasure.
Yes. At the end of every week, we have a quiz or activity or something to really re-emphasize what we've learned that week. And yes, it's a good time, I like to think.
Sounds very efficient as well. It'd be nice to bolster our studies and get things really locked in there, nice and solid.
Wonderful.
They are quite useful. I did want to say one thing though, Kanan. You really do need to tone them down. I don't think everybody's understanding it quite as easily as they have been for the last couple of weeks. Maybe try and make it a little bit easier than it was. We are all beginning to only learn some of the new stuff we're learning. We're not quite as good at it as you are yet.
I suppose I could probably tone down a few questions.
Not like a huge amount, but it's more just because Saskia genuinely fell asleep last time, and
Well, Saskia genuinely falls asleep pretty much every time, so
yes,
it's to be expected.
She's been doing so well the last couple of weeks, before the last couple of weeks, and then the last couple of weeks she's kind of just been it's been really bad. So maybe if it make a couple questions she can actually maybe answer, make them really easy for her. Maybe she'll be a bit more engaged to try the other ones. I don't know.
Well, how about I delegate you the language section of the study group? You can come up with your own questions and whatnot, and I mean, it would be helpful to me. I could take some load off, and it would help you with your confidence, I believe.
Okay.
Just pat her on the head.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess try. Yeah. Okay. You can see, you don't even need the insight. She seems not very comfortable with the thought of writing a test.
Yeah.
Even after how many tests that she's been through.
It's too bad, bro. She's gonna have to.
All right. Everybody else seems to be pretty settled around you. It seems like a very similar situation as before. Violet seems to just be kind of like slowly eating her food. Abaddon is head in a book while he's eating and like shoveling it away. And Bernie has literally got her food and is wolfing it down in the corner.
Nice.
Bernie, you should slow down a bit. You're gonna get indigestion.
No, it's probably gonna be fine. I just really wanna get back to my room because there's cake there, and I wanna just eat as much of this as possible so it looks like I'm eating, so Fiona doesn't get mad, so then I can actually go eat the cake.
Okay, but like, you could just eat it a bit slower.
Oh no, I should have asked. Do you want cake?
Oh, what cake is it?
I think it's strawberry, but I haven't really had any of it.
Sure, I'll have some.
Cool. Okay, yeah. And then she just goes back to shoveling food into her face.
Okay.
She kind of like does it like half like glancing up at you though now, and a little bit more in the corner than she was before.
Okay.
Gonna cast message to Wyatt.
I'm going to kind of address the flames. And just say, so Vaxis has informed me that some messages have been going missing once they've arrived at the academy, and he has a package of interest that I might be interested in ensuring that it arrives within the next couple of weeks or so. So, not really sure where to go with that. Not really sure how to stop things going missing if we don't know how they're going missing or where they're going missing. But yes, any assistance would be appreciated.
It wouldn't be the Vaxis from my country, would it? We had a Vaxis in Morvonian years ago.
Is Vaxis in the hall?
He is indeed.
I will just point at Vaxis and just be like, him.
Oh, sure, I didn't know he came here. I haven't seen him since, like, I was a child. Thought?
Yes, fuck indeed. Yes, so, any assistance would be greatly appreciated.
Sure. What are we doing? Tracking parcels?
I'm not quite sure yet.
It?
I was thinking that we figure out when the next message shall arrive, or messenger shall arrive, and do a little stakeout. We have 2 pairs of eyes with wings, so shouldn't be too difficult.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Like a camp out, sleepover sort of thing.
Yes.
Kind of like while he's in his like face still in the book, puts a finger up and goes, and also of course I guess I don't need to sleep as much now, but you know.
Oh yes. How is that affecting you, Abaddon?
His head kind of peeks up just above the, like, it's literally just his eyes you can see above the book, and yeah, you can see he has some really big bags under his eyes. I get more studying done, so it's fine. Or more training. Lots more training.
Smarter and stronger than me soon enough.
Don't think the stronger is much of an issue. The smarter, however, oh, that's an ask.
Yes. Well, when's the Quad Cup?
It is about 2 weeks from now.
Cool.
And you've been given like small bits of information on what it actually is, but it's, as far as you can tell, the only like thing that Fionn tends to go on about is that at the end there's going to be a big battle with everybody. Like everybody is involved except like the teachers who aren't affiliated with any of the classes.
Right.
So like even the teachers are going to be there for each of the classes. So Fionn's just hyped that he gets a chance. Very
crack some
specifically,
Beat up kids.
he's very specifically wanting to dump the Vaxis.
I also believe that
Thwack.
with the Quad Cup coming up, we should
Oh yeah.
do some skirmishes or some practice in that regard. Maybe some mock battles.
Oh okay. I've been doing a lot of that already with Warren and Nero.
You guys fight each other in school?
Yes, we've actually
Yeah.
done it once before. It was rather good until Caleb just kind of trails off.
I don't think you need to finish. I don't think you need to finish that.
Yes, well, we emerged victorious, as I remember.
It ended in a kidnapping, would it?
No.
No kidnapping. Yes, well, it's good fun for the most part, and yes, I believe it's like
Well,
it has
wasn't
some.
a kidnapping.
It has something to do with the like
Kidnapping.
student body like election, right? Like house leaders,
Gotcha.
but I don't know exactly what.
So the House Leaders event is going to happen next week. And they haven't figured out exactly what it is because, again, you've literally only been the first person to ask this.
Kalen's demanded to be the house leader.
And they demanded that it's going to happen. So they're going to do a thing about it. But they kind of just haven't yet figured out what it is they're
Right.
going to do with
Right.
it. So, yeah.
Yes. Well,
Yeah, you've been asking Valerius about this mostly, and you can see he's getting very agitated about like having to come up with this stuff.
I believe with the large scale of which the fight shall take place, it's going to take some more complicated strategy than what we employed last time. So I will obviously be dealing with the theory of that, but it's always nice to have boots on the ground to assist.
Well, I suppose I'll participate with you guys.
I should hope so, since you will be a
Yeah.
member of the Green Flames.
To the difference maker.
I'll do my best, but never really been in combat much or even at all before, so I'm not sure how useful I'll be.
Not all that it's cracked up to be, that's for sure.
I think it's pretty good. I would also. I enjoy it mostly. Though to be fair, most of my combat recently has been getting my ass kicked by Violet.
Right.
Oh, I have experience of that too, except not Violet.
I mean, if you want to get your ass kicked by me, I'm always happy to kick ass. I think.
If I can find time, sure.
Between your other ass kickings.
Yeah.
Which is usually
Busy
after dinner. by the way.
training dummy. Oh shit! Oh shit! I'm late to my ass kicking.
You still have to wait until the
Yeah,
people
yeah.
actually go, right?
I do.
Yeah.
You schedule your ass
And,
kicking?
well, yeah, it's school enforced punishment, I guess you could say.
Okay. They do punishments here?
Yeah.
If they're alright with beating students?
I mean, Neora definitely is.
Oh.
Yes, I wouldn't get on her bad side.
I wasn't hoping to get on anyone's bad side, but I'll definitely be a little more careful around that teacher.
Yes.
I'll point out Neora.
It's kind of like, get a good look at her.
Yeah, you see a woman with like greenish eyes, really short black hair, and she kind of just seems to be eating rather slowly more than anything. Oh, sorry, yeah. sorry, blue eyes, my bad, and short black hair. And you can see that she's wearing like kind of like loose-ish fitting clothes more than anything, and they're like long for the most part, like long trousers, and like it's more like a t-shirt more than anything. And it's pretty much all like black and blue that she's wearing. And like you can tell, like the others around her seem to be just kind of casually talking, and she'll say like a couple things here and there. You can't really see, like, hear what they're talking about, but you can tell that whenever she talks, everybody seems to listen to her on that table.
With hold on. I don't do this.
Okay.
Can we get?
Yeah. It seems like for the majority of what they are talking about is just like mindless banter here and there, and then every once in a while Neora will say something like, "Oh yes, Castellan, that was totally what I was talking about," kind of thing, and then everybody will just be like, "Ooh," and it, and very briefly after like the mindless banter, she does very quickly mention. You do see her say to Castellan, "So after I'm done with Cynric, my room," and he kind of just nods.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
Well, we already know that they're banging.
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah.
We had our suspicions.
Yeah.
So is Nyora and that one there a thing?
So Castellan.
So Castellan.
Yeah, Castellan.
Oh,
Jinx padlock.
perhaps. I do recall something along those lines being rumored. And by rumored, I mean we found some evidence suggesting such.
What did you find?
Uh,
If you don't mind sharing.
well, I didn't find anything. But just some garments in certain rooms that indicated certain things. That's all.
Ah.
Indeed.
I'm pretty sure Petra still has the fabric. Hold on. Do I still have it?
Plot twist:
It's
that's the
just stuck,
fabric
dude.
she's using to hold everything when she's eating. That's what it is. She's not even
I have
or anything. She's just using that
a
fabric.
red cloth with platinum embroidery.
No, that was from Euphemia.
Was it?
Yeah, because we found that in the forest. What we're talking about is when you snuck into the hotel
Yeah, I
rooms.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have not written it down, but I think I still have like a cut of it.
Poor Vort.
She doesn't know where it is.
Nah.
So, as you guys are finishing up your dinner, you see people are now beginning to filter out off towards where they would normally be going,
Well.
which is various places, of course. Yeah.
I will finish like slightly early, and then get up and be like, I will meet you all in the library. Farewell.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna grab
Petra gets
Esther.
up and go with them.
I'm gonna grab Esther and pull her along.
As you do.
Mhm.
She very quickly finishes her food, gets up. You can see that, like, Gianni, you see that everybody just leaves their plates on the tables, and they eventually get, like, kind of just picked up by nothing and moved off.
Oh, okay. A very
Well, like-
non-peasant complaint.
So yes, you drag Esther off
Mm-hmm.
to the night.
And then you
Go to library,
girls coming with Petra.
Huh?
Petra's coming
Yeah,
with.
falling back in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Just get to the library and begin setting up, everyone's study materials.
Yep. You set up everybody's study materials pretty quickly. You see Esther kind of sits down, moves to the back of a book, flips it upside down so she has like an easier way of writing, and then begins slowly trying to write out tests for like basically just her and Saskia.
Petra is very careful not to touch anything. This is the one room where Caitlin said no touch.
Yeah, no touch. No touch.
No touch. She keeps
We'll
her hands to
we'll
herself.
do purely verbal tests.
Yeah. As like takes a couple minutes, everybody who is taking this little class, the after class, with you, is slowly filtering in. First Saskia,
My
and
ass beat, bro.
yep, Cynric has disappeared off into the night, of course. Violet and Abaddon make their way. Abaddon is the last person to make it.
Tiani will come too.
Yes. Yeah, Abaddon kind of takes a little bit longer than everybody else, and you can see he's facing a book, walking around, almost bumping into things.
I will recap what I understand everyone's studying, and then begin handing out materials for them to study over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. So, firstly, what I'm gonna do, where is Esther? Esther's right there. Esther, I'm gonna do a little intelligence check to see if Esther does a good test for Saskia. It doesn't look great, to be honest. It looks a lot more basic than you thought it was gonna be. Maybe that's perfect though.
She's not even gonna vet it with me first. Like,
I mean, she is betting it with you, of course.
see if I get it.
But,
See if she gets my approval before she hands it out.
Yeah. I mean, she's handing it out, like, she's literally only gonna give it to Saskia at this point.
Disappointed.
So she does give it to you first. Like, did you just check everything's good with this?
Yeah. Kaylin will just look it over, pull out a pen, and just like scratch out lines, rewrite, scratch, rewrite, and then hand it back and be like, "This is more intermediate."
Oh, I guess I was trying to make it a little bit easier, but okay, sure.
Well,
Oh,
it's
and,
easier than what I would have done.
Yeah, I guess. Also, did you want to give me a different one? I assume you already have one prepared, right?
Yes, of course. And then I hand her it.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna do intelligence checks for everybody who's doing it of the NPCs, because why not?
Hmm.
I did the classic.
And then while they're
so-
doing their study materials, I'm gonna go to Tiani and ask her exactly what she learnt today.
Learn a bit about, the plants and food that grows around here, and learning a bit about growing plants in the cold. I can't quite remember the rest, but those are what have grabbed me the most. I'd like to go with Cynric sometime and, check out foraging.
Of course. Alright. One moment, and then I'm gonna go look for some some Vorian botany books in the library.
Okay, cool. Investigation.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Shit.
You literally walk like 2 feet to the right of where you are.
Yeah.
Kind of pull out a book, and you're like, oh, I remember this book. It was about big plants.
Yeah.
Cool. And hand it over.
Yep, grab
And
that
by
and
big
hand it
plant,
over.
it's very specifically about plants that survive in colder climates for the most part, but plants that don't survive with very good like soil, and some of the plants are stuff like flesh-eating plants, that kind of stuff, large flowers that survive oddly in the cold climate, and then the classic of the darkwood trees that live and there's a large section on that, and you remember reading up on it at some point because you were like, yeah, these forests are weird, dude.
Yeah. I'll hand that over. Tell her, like, obviously I don't expect her to read like all the pages, but I will tell her to read certain pages that are of relevancy.
Oh, thank you very much, Kaylin.
Yes, of course.
Write down the page numbers and, you know, start flicking through, and she gets really fucking excited, and she's like, read through the pages and shit.
Yeah, nice. With the rest of the people who are doing their tests. So, first up, Saskia does okay. She doesn't actually fall asleep this time. But again, like, it's mostly just the really easy things that she can be bothered to do. She kind of just doesn't bother with anything past easy.
Right.
And we've got Violet, who just seems very absent-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Very absent-minded. Abaddon is on it, does it very quickly, gets back to his book. It is pretty damn good. There's like a mistake here or there. That's about it. And Esther, you can tell that after she wrote her, she seems to have something on her mind as she's doing the test. And there's lots and lots of small mistakes that kind of compound into this is not as good as she's used to.
Yeah, I assume I mark Abaddon's first.
Yeah.
Mark, hand back. Problem done.
Yep.
He can review it whenever he wants. Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up again. And then probably Esther next, right?
Actually, Saskia next, because she kind of just hands it in once she's done with all the easy stuff.
Just
And then she
circling
literally
all
is
the
gonna-
areas where she hasn't filled in any answers. And then
She hands it in, sits back down, feet on the desk.
Yeah, I will still mark it and hand it back.
Yeah.
And then once I get around to marking Esther's, gonna point out all the small mistakes and just be like, something wrong?
Oh, I don't know. Just no, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Well, obviously it's something.
I just got in my own head trying to do stuff a bit more complex than usual. You know, didn't really work out.
Right. Well, sometimes the easiest solution is obviously is often the one less seen.
Yes, of course. She kind of sits down next to Saskia after talking to you, and then it seems like they're having like a small conversation. Doesn't seem like it's much of a conversation, just a couple words here and there.
Cool.
Yep. Okay. And yeah, Violet hands you at last.
Mark, hand back. Ask if everything's all right.
Oh, it's okay. I'm fine. Don't worry. Sorry. This morning I was training Abaddon, and he wakes up really early now, and I just haven't got much sleep recently.
Well, then train later.
I mean, yes, but then he wants to
Or-
do all of his sleep later.
Or sleep earlier.
I don't like sleeping early. I like reading.
Well, if you burn yourself out trying to keep up with someone who, for some reason, does not need as much sleep, then you will ultimately end up doing worse for yourself.
She kind of just she kind of looks over to Abaddon and then kind of just pulls at your arm to kind of pull you to the corner almost for a second.
Yep.
And then once you're in the corner, she then just goes, I'm kind of just worried about him more than anything. He seems kind of out of it most of the time.
Contrarily, he seems rather into his studies.
I guess. By that I mean this morning I was fighting him, and usually it's relatively even. We might get a good hit here or there, as you do. But today I'm gonna be honest, I destroyed him, and I'm not used to that. I was very tired. Like, I really shouldn't have won, but I did. And that kind of concerns me.
Perhaps that that Scythe is having adverse effects on his mental well-being.
I hope not.
As do I.
Okay, I think I have an idea. I don't know if this will be the best idea, but I'll try it anyway. Give me a second. She kind of walks over to Abaddon, and you see that like they talk for a second, and then he kind of just like slowly nods, and then gets up, and then she kind of like turns to you, thumbs up, and they walk off.
I give a very hesitant thumbs up.
I guess like if anyone like, well, I mean, Tiani, if you want to know what they said, you can know. But everybody else, if you want to know, like, by that I mean just Kaylin. If you want to roll a perception check, you can try and hear what they said, I guess.
Tiani is like really engaged in her book, so
Yeah.
she'll go
Okay,
for
good. Okay. Yeah, it seems like basically it was kind of just Violet going, so I want to train now. Do you want to go train? And then I'm going, I'm in the middle of a book. No, we're going to train right now. And it's like, okay. Then he kind of gets up and they go.
Okay. Fair enough.
Now we're going to go to Cynric.
I'm gonna just real quick.
Hello.
For the rest of the study session, I'm going to comprehend languages and try and teach myself Viking.
Yeah, sure. Just roll an intelligence check for me.
Basically, just like trying to. Big.
Just
Just.
the thing
He
with
comprehend.
as a language is it's actually quite similar to Paladonian in some ways, in the way that it's for the most part it's like just overly like there are parts of it that are really simplified and very similar to Paladonian. There's a lot of sections where it just really likes overdoing it, and it's kind of the stuff where it's like rather than asking a question in like a couple like words, it makes a whole sentence and a half out of the question, and it's a lot longer than you would expect, right? But at the same time, it's rather fluid, and it kind of just you kind of get it relatively quickly.
Yeah.
You don't like understand the entire language.
Yeah. Of course, I don't understand the entire language,
A lot
but
of stuff that
mainly
the basics of it to be down.
mainly
pretty
just spending like an hour just converting, like just trying to translate, because I obviously can read the language now, trying to translate the comprehend languages version of whatever I'm reading, and then writing that down in the Viking language, because I have to touch it, right, to be able to comprehend it. So if I don't touch it, then I can still read it as Viking, and then I can just keep doing that, like touch, untouch, 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 and then just like copy it down word by word and try and decipher like the way that the words, like the sentences are structured and everything like that. That's basically all he's going to be doing in like his like in his spare time between helping other people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's easily enough.
Cool.
So yes, we will go to Cynric now. Cynric, you make your way down to the combat arena. It's the practice training arena that you're used to with the dummies, but you're used to it by now. The dummies are never used, almost, except for like
Honestly,
every once in a while when
I
you're
am the training dummy, bro.
a specific punch or something. Yeah. So Wilhelm makes his way in next, and then you see you're like Wilhelm kind of greets you. Oh, hey.
Hey.
Um,
How are you?
You're here yet?
Is Nora here yet? I take it not.
She's not.
No, doesn't look like it.
He kind of like takes a quick look around and then goes, don't like her to be late. Do you want to just start then, or?
Yeah, can do.
All right, cool. He kind of gets his halberd into a ready position, And then as he's about to like start getting into it, you hear from above you, like kind of just like off to one of the sides. So like there's obviously 4 walls and then it's open at the top. On top of one of the walls, you hear Nero go, "So, wanting to start it all without me, huh?"
I mean, no. No.
Sorry, Teach. Just kind of thought it'd be a good idea to get started since you were a little bit late. Well, get on with it.
She starts undressing.
Jesus.
Beat him, she demands.
Beat him, the boy, the child. Come back.
Cedric will get his short swords out, obviously.
Fight for my love.
All right. So, yeah, roll initiative.
Oh, great.
So the first strike going to your boy Wilhelm. He is gonna.
Why do
try
I
and
have
whack-
18 AC? That doesn't seem right.
He's gonna try and whack.
Oh, it's equipped the +1 shield, hasn't it? That
Oh,
I got.
dude.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Take that off.
What you? Boom. Halbert.
Oh.
First it
Parry.
takes legs, but you know you're kind of used to it. You parry it down into the floor. Kind of gives
Always
you a
try to
bit,
stop
like a
it.
half smile.
Imagine if you killed him. Yeah.
Again.
No. Again.
Jesus. Is it my go?
Yes, it's yours.
Oh, sorry. I forgot we're not extra attack yet.
Yep.
Right. I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna try something out. Learned it recently. I know I'm meant to be the dummy, but whatever. Boom!
Oh god.
Hunter's mark.
Okay.
Hunter's mark coming in, bro. Right. What the fuck am I doing? I've never fought with a short sword in my life. Normal. Attack. Wait, do I need any of these on? Oh, just Hunter's mark.
This is. Yeah. You
Bonus
did the-
off. Oh no, I can't do that. I already bonus section for Hunter's mark.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, you did the same thing, and he kind of pings it down into the floor. Come on, trying to steal my own trick.
So I
He's
mean,
gonna take off back at you.
hits.
Yeah. As he hits, he's then just gonna accident surge, press the attack.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh.
He kind of clips you in the in your left arm,
Jesus.
and then as he spins around, he clips your left leg in a very swift hoop.
Ow.
Your turn.
Okay. Oh, I need to make con saves, don't I? It's Hunter's mark's concentration.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's not.
Shit.
Like-
Shit.
She.
Ah, it's gone.
Oh no.
God.
That was a good. We tried, boys. Okay.
You're trying to look pathetic. You're really doing a good job.
Shut the fuck up, bro. I'm gonna shoot a faith myself. Karusha, please.
My faith protects me.
Literally, bro. And then attack him again, I guess. Oh, hang on, I still had Hunter's mark on. So just
That
nonsense.
hits. You stab him a little bit for 9 damage. Oh, that was a good one.
I need to.
What happened to your new trick? That looked
Thanks.
pretty normal.
I mean, yeah, I forgot about concentrating on it. My bad.
He kind of looked at you puzzled. He's gonna go for it. Halbert.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that still hits.
You're still standing?
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
you are currently marked. unwavering mark because he hit you in the last time. So he's going to make a bonus action, another attack against you.
You're
with
fucked,
halberd.
dude.
And if this hit, this does an extra. Oh, he has advantage on it, by the way. I forgot about that.
You're fucked.
Crit, reverse kill him, reverse kill him.
Oh, my shoulder face gone.
Oh my god, dude.
Hits. Whee!
It misses.
He goes to take this big swing at you, and it's like he's trying to basically cleave you in half, almost. And kind of just step out the way, and he goes, I guess that was a bit too much.
Jeez.
Why did it roll it? Okay, same thing as well.
Rolls again.
He rolls again. Return.
Okay. You know what? Clearly spells just ain't working. So instead, I'm just gonna swing at him twice.
Cool.
Hey, hey, hey.
You give him a tiny bit of a cut lip. Well, that one hit.
Yeah.
Second one,
Practicing
not
restraint,
so much.
you know.
As he brings his halberd back round to whack you.
You gonna annoy?
Whack.
You gonna fucking annoy?
Hits.
Hello. Oof. Oof.
Very low, very low.
Big advantage attack. If it hits, it does an extra 2 damage.
Oh, you're fucked.
That's the wrong thing.
Oh, you're fucked, eh?
Kinda just whacks you with the side of his blade, knocking you out. You awaken a couple minutes later with the smell of smelling salts in your nose. It is something that you're now used to, because one time is not enough. You're not allowed to get beat on once and have it be accepted. You know now that Niora is pretty good with just absolutely waking you the crap up and making you feel really, really invigorated again, really fast.
Oh gosh, you pass you Viagra.
Mm.
Gives you a little blue pill.
Oh boy.
To make sure that you can go all night long.
You awaken.
Jesus. Half my HP.
Yes.
50.
As you look over, you do see that Wilhelm looks a little bit more beat up than before. But you know now that you've lost to Wilhelm once, it's not Wilhelm you have to go up against. It's Niora. So I'm gonna just clear the turn order, and as soon as you're literally awake, she kind of is just already in a stance to fight. She's got a single short sword out. She looks at you. So, ready?
Cast shoulder face. Yeah.
Okay, low roll. Low roll. Yeah. Roll for initiative, bro.
Yes, I am doing.
Oh shit, you fast.
I'm fast, fuck boy.
You rolled triple her initiative, damn.
You underestimate my power.
She kind of.
Funny.
Yeah.
Both of them hit, giving her small cuts on the
Hell
arm.
It's fucking
I'll win this
hilarious
time.
if you beat Niora. And not that.
You see
That's
it
turn.
wearing armor, which is unusual. You see, it's making her seem a little bit slower than you're used to. Okay, my turn then.
Misses.
Punch.
Oi! They both hit.
And
I'm on
sneak
1
attack.
HP. Oh, okay, then I'm dead.
And she knocks you unconscious with the final one. She kind of looks, gave you a quick look before she went in for it, and then done. And again, your consciousness fades very quickly as she beats the ever-loving crap out of you. And as you fall,
Okay.
as you fall into the abyss of unconsciousness, you awaken a couple hours later in your bed, which is customary, wearing all of your stuff, all of your equipment's just left next to you, but you know, there you are.
Okay.
So, the rest of you, the night goes relatively uneventfully, unless there's anything else you'd like to do before it ends.
Tiani would like to look at her plants and see if any of them need adjusting.
Sure. Roll another nature check. Yeah. Now that you look at it, a lot of these desert plants are not getting as much sun as you think they should be. And you're not necessarily sure if there's anywhere else in your room that's really going to get you any more sun.
Is there windows in the halls?
There are not windows in the hall, no.
Shit. Can we like hang them from the ceiling in the front of the window?
Mirrors, bro.
You can try. Have you got anything to hang them up with?
Just use rope from our clingy fucking necklace.
Sure, yeah, sounds good.
Alright.
You kind of pull at the necklace, cut it out a little bit, get some hempen rope of sorts, almost. And you start trying to tie these. Roll me a dexterity check. Okay. Yeah, you kind of get some of the more important ones up before you stop. It's kind of more difficult than you thought trying to tie things to a ceiling or other areas around the ceiling. You get a couple up before you, but not like all of them. Only just the most important ones.
Can she take a few plants and knock on Kaylin's door?
Yeah. You can indeed.
Yes, hello?
Hi, a few of my children here require more sunlight than I'm able to provide. If you wouldn't mind keeping them in your window for me.
Can roll a nature check for me?
Sure.
My children.
Yeah, your room specifically is actually the room that gets the least sun. Sun tends to be from Bernie's side more than anything.
Well, I would accept. It's rather dark in my rooms most days. You could try on the other side of the hall. Those rooms
Alright.
would be more likely to require sun. Have you tried mirrors?
Pardon?
Have you tried mirrors?
No, I didn't bring any with me.
Perhaps we can ask around about that tomorrow then.
But for now, they should be getting more sun. I don't want my poor babies to die.
Why do you call them your children and your babies?
I care about them a lot. Kaylin is they're important to me. Oh, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. You have a crazy plant lady.
Yeah.
You are a crazy cat lady.
Tiani will go down the hall and knock on Cedric's door.
At least it's not a crazy women lady.
That's true.
That's what I was gonna say. We had a crazy woman lady.
Yeah.
Who is it?
It's Tiani.
Okay.
Are you okay there?
Cast message. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just coming. Give me a second.
Okay.
He's just coming. Give me a second.
Ow. Ow. Gets to the door. Hi.
Hi, are you alright? You don't look too good.
Yeah. No. I'm good.
Tiani will
What
put
up?
down one of the plants and give him a good old touch.
Oi. What are you doing?
A good old touch.
Oh, healing magic. Okay.
Yeah. Is it alright if I put a few of my plants in your window? Kaylin's gonna help me figure out a mirror situation later on, and I can take them back from you later, but I'd really appreciate it if these could get a bit more sunlight.
Oh, sure, I guess. How many?
Chill. I have 2 here with me now, but there's a few more back in my room.
Oh, okay.
She'll kind of, hand the plants over.
Shuffle the windowsill. Ow. Ow.
Tiani will go and get like a few more plants and bring them
Easy.
in. Yeah. Thank you so much. I will come back for them once we have a situation better set up in my dorm.
Okay. I mean, it's fine if you don't. They're just on my windowsill. It's not like they're gonna be in the way.
Alright. Again, thank
Push
you.
them
She'll
out. Push
kind of
them out.
tuck back out your door and feel better soon.
Push them out.
Yep.
Push them out.
I will.
Push them out.
Rage.
Cat. Yes.
I'd like to channel divinity.
What?
God. Do it.
I'm gonna be these plants' best friend, bro.
You are God's best friends. Plants within 30 feet.
I mean, I think technically it's meant to be like plant creatures, but
Yeah.
you know.
Which means.
Just close the door and you just hear this like chanting.
Yeah, as you're like doing that, you like Tiani, you see Alice just like kind of jump from off your bed, run out through the door, and kind of
Oh.
bump into the door repeatedly of Cynic's room.
Oh,
Alice and Sinric.
ow, ow. Hello?
Yeah, as soon as you open the door, you see this little plant creature run in, and
What?
I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh,
or
big.
you see like this little flower kind of rub up against you for a second, and then kind of shake for a second, and the flower pops open, and a burst of what seems to be like pollen and mixtures of other just like very colorful blue, yellow, orange, like it's almost like a powder just puffs out of it, and you kind of like do your best to not inhale it before it very quickly like it dissipates from in front of you, and you kind of close your eyes as best you can while it does, but it kind of begins to burn like the just very edges of your eyes.
Dude, this flower just came on you.
Yeah, and then as soon as you like open your eyes, you see this flower has like begin crawling its way up your leg, and is like trying to climb up you.
Oh God,
Oh.
Alice, what are you doing?
It's okay.
I've never seen her do this before. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Climbs its way up your chest and then onto your shoulder, which it is now sitting on the opposite shoulder to Asta, and it's kind of just resting its flower bud on your head.
Asta just staring at this plant.
I think she
This
likes you.
bitch. Yeah, I think it's probably got something to do with Karusha, I imagine. I was just trying to.
I'm from Arusha. I've heard of that place. You guys are really close to the nature there.
You've heard of the
Yeah.
place Karusha?
I heard of it. Heard of it. Heard a lot about it. Never been there personally.
I've never went to Ujabaruja.
Karusha's the god. Shit. Fuck.
Yeah.
That is the country for a second.
It's Kyrie.
Korea.
Yes.
Kyrie.
Similar.
Yeah.
Similar.
Wow.
First time here.
Yikes! Wait, does that mean that there's North Korea not on the map? Wait.
Uh-oh.
Wait.
With Karusha.
North Korea. Ah, jeez. Yes. Takes a couple minutes, but eventually the little plant creature hops off and follows the Yanni back to their room. Is there anything else you'd like to do before sleepy bears?
Not really.
Me. Just collapse.
Yeah, everybody settles down in their rooms, and Tiani, as you are settled, you hear during the night you kind of manage to fall asleep.
Set on my
A couple
alarms.
of times, you are awoken by a very loud, just a single thud, and you manage to settle yourself back to sleep, and then again, a couple hours later, a loud thud. And it seems to be coming from the room next to you.
Oh.
Beyond.
A room next to her.
Mhm.
Petra's room or Fionn?
That's true. It seems.
Viv and Tiani.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, we've ascended.
Violet Rinna. Reyna.
Tiani's gonna like just back, you know? Like, hey, what's up? Communicate.
Yeah, okay. You thud on the wall. Any response, Petra?
She's dead asleep.
Yeah, dead asleep. Yeah, you don't seem to get any response.
Alright. Just fuck it then.
Yeah, okay. You go back to sleep. Manage to get nice and cozy back in your bed. Drifting slowly back to sleep. And then, just as you're reaching the point where your sleep is getting pretty good, another big thud.
Love of the gods. Get up and knock on Petra's door.
No, no. What time is it? It's 6 a.m., right? So I've been awake for like an hour.
4 a.m., yeah. So
4
you're
a.m.?
just about to get
Oh
awake, yeah.
god. I love its company.
Yeah.
Before that happens, we're gonna have a little interesting conversation, Cedric. Cedric? Oh no, Kaylin actually.
Hello.
Oh,
Both?
thank you.
But one by one.
Hello.
We'll get to both of you.
Hey.
Kaylin, as you fall asleep,
Yep.
your dream, as per usual, kind of drift into bookland, which is the normal classic for you. But as you
I
drift
astral project into the library so I can keep reading.
yeah. As you do that, you kind of get an odd feeling as you're walking through this library, and you begin to very quickly recognize this isn't the library at Darkfall. This is the library at home. It's been a while since you've had a dream about the library at home.
Yep.
And as you are having this dream about the library at home, can you roll an investigation check for me?
Yep.
Everyone? Or
Can
just
do.
Kaylin?
Just Kaylin.
Unless you're planning on invading my dreams, bro.
Yeah.
Do you want it?
God. You feel like you're looking for something during the stream. You're not exactly sure what it is, but you're not doing a very good job at looking for it, and it kind of agitates you. And as you're getting to the point where you'd normally, like, you wouldn't really usually get that frustrated at not finding something, but you're beginning to get actually genuinely frustrated. You get an odd sensation. You feel like you're being watched. And as you look up to where you think you're being watched from, you find a pair of light blue eyes looking down at you from on top of one of the bookshelves. The eyes belonging to a girl with long blonde hair, wearing a small white dress. She's rather short, and you recognize this as somebody who invaded your dream once before. Hello there. It's been a while. 4 months, something like that. Your time is weird.
Yes. Yes, it has. How may I
Now,
help you?
you see, things have been really weird because, I mean, usually I would be able to contact you a lot easier, but it's been rather difficult. It's like everything's a little bit muddy. I mean, I haven't really been trying as much as I usually would, but it's still been more difficult than I would have liked. And it's annoying me because you're rather interesting, and when interesting people are difficult to contact, it makes me annoyed. Do you know what I mean?
Your dress
I'm gonna
has
take that.
changed.
The important thing is, I kind of So, how do I put this? So there was a person who met you a long time ago. I don't know if you remember him. You probably do. It happened somewhat in a. I don't know if it was a dream or real life. He does it a really weird way. But I've been trying to track him for a while now, and he did this thing where I think what he did to you is he made you. He gave you an easier time talking to people, but he took something away from you, right? Probably like concerning Bird Black kind of laughed maniacally when he came.
How do you know about that?
How do I know about that? I know a lot about a lot of things, but there's something important about that because he doesn't choose just anyone, and I've been trying to track him down for a very long time. But you see, he's really, really very slippery, and it makes it very, very difficult for me to hold on to someone who's so slippery, right? And especially when they turn someone who's as interesting as you into something that's not necessarily, it wasn't like really a bad thing, but it was not necessarily a good thing either, right? And I've been noticing that you've been a little bit more interested in, well, magical items, which I think is quite interesting personally, but also politics and maybe history.
Yes, my interests vary.
Okay. Well, of course. I mean, I've been watching you for a while. Your interests vary a lot, I know. But more specifically, I'd like to maybe give you a little bit of help in that. Because I see that it's a little bit more muddied than you initially thought. And I know a lot about it, but there's still a lot that's missing even to me. So, here's what I'm gonna say. I have a proposition for you. Now, it's sort of no strings attached, but that's a lie. There's strings attached, and the strings are that I want you to come to me with anything you find that you think seems extremely interesting, but not just like, the boring stuff of like, oh, I know how to speak a new language or something. I know all the languages. The languages are boring to me now. I mean stuff that I wouldn't be able to find myself. Okay? Do you accept my proposition?
I'm not quite sure what you're asking of me exactly.
Okay, so I do this sometimes. Sorry, I get really ahead of myself. I get really into it, and I really need to try and relax, explain things better. I know a lot of things, and it's hard to explain them. I'm gonna help you find secrets, and I want you to do me a favor and let me know the secrets once you find them, because I can't be everywhere at once.
Is that all?
Yeah, pretty much, to be honest. And I mean, if you ever want to, chat or anything, I guess I'm around most of the time, but, it's more specifically for, I need to find the man that gave you those powers. You need to have a conversation with him.
And who are you exactly?
Well, that's the thing. That's a secret. And, I want to help you find secrets, but I'm not just going to give you the answer. That's boring. You have to find them out by yourself. And you're intelligent enough to find it out by yourself. I mean, what are you going to look for? Extremely intelligent child that appears to people? I feel like you'll find that in about 5 minutes. If you want to try and think of why you might know this person, roll a history check for me.
Sure.
Yeah, so the first thing that comes to mind is you've heard like people talk about so there are the 5 gods, right? And of those 5 gods, there are a couple of them that are very obviously known, and like everybody knows, like all of them, right? Everybody knows all of those 5 gods. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of them that don't seem to really be worshipped as obviously as the others, and the ones that come to mind are Latara and Rekia, right? Now, for a second, it kind of just clicks, and you realize very, very quickly that Rekia, the goddess or god of trickery and knowledge, it doesn't really matter. They tends to usually appear as a small child who converses with people. And it kind of, you just didn't really click until now that, you know, could just be that person. Might not be.
Very well.
Oh, so that's a yes?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Oh, that was a lot quicker than I thought it would be. Huh.
Well, knowledge is tempting, and I am a sucker for it, so...
Oh, I guess that's fair enough. So, Mister, I guess, usually I have to do a lot more bargaining and stuff, and be like, oh, I'm gonna give you this exactly, and then you're gonna give me back that. But I mean, I guess this works. Just if you ever have any issues finding any information, you can ask me, I guess. Mechanically, how this works is you now gain advantage on investigation or history when trying to find secrets or knowledge that is difficult to find for the normal person.
Cool.
Ooh.
And on top of that, as an action, once a day, you can ask this childlike voice a question, and they will do their best to answer.
Cool. See,
Alternatively, you can give them a piece of information.
if this person ends up being malicious, all I have to do is argue that once the secret is known, it's no longer secret. Therefore, I don't have to tell them anything.
Yeah.
And brain.
So, what's this entity's name? I assume.
So, from what you've gathered from yourself, it is. Give me a second. I need to type it out first for you.
No worries.
It is one of the gods listed. Give me a second. There you go. And then that's how it's said.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yikes. I knew you were going to do that. How did I...
I'm just putting that down in my traits.
Cool. That. Well, I mean, I guess that's everything. Oh, and I guess it won't be a secret too long, but all of your friends are gonna probably have weird dreams again. I don't know. It feels like the only times when I'm actually able to contact you is the same time random things are happening for everybody else, and I don't exactly know why myself. But I mean, I'll try and figure it out. And I don't know. If you figure it out first, you know.
Strange things have been going on.
Yes. Also, you should probably keep an eye on that eye. That was an unintentional pun. I didn't mean it like that. You know, keep it in view and make sure it doesn't do anything weird. It might do some weird things. It's weird. Okay.
Yes,
that's about it.
It hasn't left my possession since I retrieved it. So.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm not saying that. I don't expect you to like give it away or anything. You're not that stupid. But I mean, like, just in general, I feel like it might have more to it than what you know already, and it might be the same with a lot of the stuff that the other people have been getting recently. And I'm gonna be honest, like, it's like one of those things where while I'm talking to you, a lot of the stuff that is connected to the other people is kind of gone. So it's really odd because I can't really tell stuff that I usually should be able to. So I'd just keep an eye on your friends as well. I assume they're friends, right? I don't know. You don't seem like that malicious kind of person who's going to be like, I'm going to just use these people and then eventually murder them. I mean, I hope not. That'd be really boring. They're also kind of interesting.
You talk a lot. I'm used to being the one who talks a lot, but I'm out of my element here. I'd like to get back to sleep now. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. By the way, the that you were looking for, she kind of just points at one of the large books. It's that one, page 133. And then she disappears.
Thank you.
Trust Kaylin until I called the fuck off in time.
He's agnostic, bro. Like, Well, he's not agnostic. He's like the closest thing to being agnostic whilst recognizing that gods exist.
Yep.
It's just like I prefer self-fulfillment in knowledge rather than following gods and shit like
So,
that.
okay, you served your purpose. Fuck off.
then he's gonna go get that book. Books.
Book over God?
Books.
Right now,
Cedric. Oh shit.
you go to bed. Betty buys, as you do. Nice, go to Betty buys. And as you pass the fuck out. It hurts. And you wake up. In a kind of odd place, actually. This looks like a place that you've only really been like once or twice, which is it looks like the inside of a castle. And very specifically, it looks like the inside of only one room that you've really been in the castle, which is Bernadetta's room. You find yourself in a room, and it seems relatively empty for the most part. Like it's been very unlived in for a while. But you find Bernadetta sitting in the corner of her room, kind of wearing like relatively like not clothes you'd normally see her in. They seem to be a lot more comfortable than the clothes she'd wear just in general around people. And you see her kind of just staring at the floor.
Oh my fucking gosh, you fucking dead.
Hello?
For a second you think that she doesn't respond to you, but she kind of slowly looks up to you from where she's sitting in the corner and says, Sinric, I forgot to give you the cake, didn't I? Sorry.
Well, that's fine.
I think I ate it all. I'm not really sure.
I mean, that's what I'd expect.
You know by now, when I'm stressed, I stress eat.
Very true.
Why are you in my dream?
Well, I was going to ask you the same thing. Whose dream is this?
I don't know. I'm not really sure, but this is usually when I go when I don't feel comfortable, but it feels like everything's missing, and I don't know why.
Okay. Well, shall we look for what's missing, or?
Maybe.
What's missing?
She kind of like looks around very quickly. Well, kind of everything. Like, it feels like I haven't been here in ages, but all of my stuff's gone, and I don't know. Just, I haven't left the room, of course. I don't really do that much anyway.
That's a whole ass move.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, I don't exactly know where to find everything.
Usually when I don't know what's going on or I need help or something, I guess I go ask Mom.
Oh. Well, look around. Can I see the Queen anywhere?
Can you look around? The Queen is not in this room. Normally it means I have to leave my room, though.
Oh. Well, we can do that, right?
Just 30 more seconds, okay? She kind of
I'm gonna count the seconds.
she gets up, turns around into the corner, and kind of just like you hear a very faint Okay, I'm ready. And she turns back around. It's been about like 23 seconds, actually. Okay, I'm ready to go. Follow me. And she opens the door. As soon as she like opens the door, you see her just kind of full sprint off.
Oh!
Yeah.
Running after.
You full sprint behind her, manage to just about keep up for the most part. You feel somewhat a little bit more weightless than usual, and you can see she's running quite fast, but you're actually, for the most part, able to keep up. Just a couple corners, you lose her for like a brief second before she gets off, before you get back onto track. This castle seems really big, from what you remember, honestly. And after a couple corners, you find yourself in a large hall where you see it's like almost like a cathedral, almost, where there's like sets of pews all the way up and stained glass windows across all of the walls. Most of the stained glass is red and green, showing stuff like plants and growth and trees and things like that. And you see like along directly across the way from you, a woman, tall, looking away from you with a crown on her head, and like dark purple hair, wearing a large white dress, is kind of sitting, from what you can see, on a pew in the middle, looking up towards a large stained glass window that seems to be showing a woman very similar, like almost exactly the same as far as you can tell, standing on just like in like if the window is that's what it shows, basically.
Okay.
Bernadette kind of runs up to the entrance of this hall and just stops dead in her tracks.
Oh. You okay?
Yeah. Just give me a second. She kind of squints her eyes for a second, and you hear her just go, "Mom." The woman in the distance kind of slowly gets up, turns around. You see that her like crown that she's wearing looks to be made mostly of wood as she slowly begins making her way over. She has like, she looks almost exactly just like a long-haired adult Bernadette, basically.
Nice.
But she has like absurdly radiant skin, and she almost floats with like her dress is so long, but like she barely even moves up and down as she walks. She slowly makes her way towards you. As she gets to about 10 feet away, she puts her hands together in front of her, not quite like a praying motion, but almost like she's just holding them together. And she goes, "My dear, it's been so long. What brings you back?" Senric, help.
What? Well, she lost everything. I don't really know. One of us is in each other's dreams. We were both in the same dream.
You see the queen kind of look over to you, nod slowly. That must be disconcerting, but I'm sure it's just the will of Karusha. Roll me a perception check.
Shit. Here we go.
She good. See.
Yeah, that is enough for you to notice that very briefly, Bunny's face kind of scrunches up, and she kind of just like it seems like she's gonna say something and then stops herself. Bunny's mother kind of just goes, well, if you would like, would you join me in prayer?
Oh, sure.
She turns around and begins making her way back towards the little pew that she was sitting on.
follow.
Yep.
Start
Take
to
the-
really-
Okay. You follow. As you get to like about 10 feet away from Bernie, she kind of like half jumps to catch up. And then Bernie kind of sits down on a pew, like just behind almost. And you see that the queen kind of just puts her hands together and just begins quietly praying. As Bernie sits down, she kind of beckons for you to sit next to her.
Okay.
Once you've sat down, Bernie kind of puts her hands together, like she's praying, and then she goes, Senric,
Yeah.
what do I pray about?
I mean, most of the time you pray to thank Carisha for stuff, or if you're willing for something to happen, then you ask her about that.
But I don't know if I have much to thank her about, and I really don't want much to happen. I kind of like where I am right now, or not right now, but where I was.
Well, then you can pray for things to stay the same.
Okay. She kind of like looks at you for a second, and then looks down at her hands, and then looks to you again, and then just looks down at her hands, staring at her hands. Intently.
You could thank her for things being the way that you want them to stay currently, I guess.
Yes, maybe. She kind of looks at you again, and then looks back at her hands, and then staring really hard at her hands.
Are you okay?
Without looking up at you, she just kind of goes, I don't know. Is this not what it looks like?
Not what looks like.
I don't know, praying?
Oh well, it's more of a like you just close your eyes and relax, I guess, and just let it happen. This is what you focus on.
No, I'm doing it wrong, aren't I? She closes her eyes and she just squints really, really hard.
Fucking scenes if Bernie starts throwing hands.
You can't really do it wrong as long as you're doing it right. That doesn't make sense, but stuff.
If you're doing
And
it right.
she opens her eyes and just like tilts her head at you. What? What does that even mean?
Sorry, I was trying to be deep, but basically I meant there's no wrong way to pray.
I think I'm just gonna go back to my room. She kind of just gets up very quickly, brushes herself off, and then begins trying to like speed walk away. As she gets like a little bit down the main alleyway, you hear the queen go, Bernadetta, dear, not this again. Bernie just stops dead in her tracks. And the queen just goes, you know you're going to have to take my place someday, right, Bernadetta? Bernie slowly turns on her heel and then just goes, I know, Mom, but it's scary and I don't know what I'm doing and I don't really want to know what I'm doing and I'd rather just be in my room right now. You just see the queen's like shoulders kind of slump for a second before she like straightens her back up again. And then she just goes, I know it's difficult for you, my children, and I know that your connection to the god might not seem as easy to come by as you would like, but it'll all change in time. I know it'll be easier for you to connect to the god once I'm gone, but until then, please be gentle. And just try for me, dear, please. I'm gonna go back to my room. She kind of just turns very quickly on her heel and just begins sprinting down the hall again. What am I gonna do with that girl?
I don't know. Sorry, did you say children earlier?
Well, yes. All those who live, or have lived, or will live in Caria are my children.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mom?
Slowly begins rising again. Turns to you. I know you try with her, and I thank you for all you have done. Especially with your own predisposition of sorts. But now the fog becomes more murky. It is more difficult for us to see what we want to see. Or, well, it's easier to see what you want to see, but not what you need to see. Good luck, my child. I realize that your time here with me is coming to an end, but it has been nice. Would you like to share what you prayed about? She smiles.
Oh, sure. I mean, I mainly just prayed that, Birdie stays safe. And I don't let her get taken again, because that was kind of bad.
Taken?
Again?
What do you mean taken?
Yeah, what do you mean, man?
You know, when she was younger, others from Castelia wished to take her once before.
Need coffee.
I will not let that happen again.
Well, about that.
Well,
Oh!
it's in Castelia, so technically still doing okay. Also, I pray that, I would one day have the ability to just click my fingers and I don't have to talk with anyone anymore. Because that would be
Sorry,
nice.
that's very impossible. Everything else is reasonable, but that one was, that's a bit too far.
I know. But...
Much as I'm sure Bernadetta would wish for the exact same thing, one day she will have to take my place and have to, well, stand up in front of large crowds. Which, I'm sure she is dreading with all of her body, but, I was the same once. And it's not as difficult as it seems, I think. See, me and Bernadette are much the same. And in that way, I know that she will be okay. And I know that with you, she'll be a lot better than it would be.
Okay.
And with that, she kind of just smiles, and as you're like focusing on her smile, almost, for a second, everything just kind of goes a bit fuzzy, and then you kind of just wake up. It's still dark. Alright, I'm gonna BRB like 5 minutes because I need to pee.
Yeah, God.
You wake to a bug. Yeah. I'm gonna go BRB, pee, get some water, sign a card, all the good stuff. So, BRB.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff.
You wake to Alice shoving her vines down your fucking mouth,
Thank you.
spreading her pollen all up in the air and shit.
At least it's in the air and not in his throat.
Yeah. Just crawl into your butthole and just poof. Pollen.
What the hell? Can we not?
I hope the pollen is gonna welcome me, but I hope it looks like a pollen fart.
Cynric Alice fucking after fanfic coming in hot.
God.
So like for like once or twice a day, you can just make Alice like you for a minute.
I mean, yeah. Also works with other plants.
Well, the other ones aren't as sentient.
Yeah, but if we find other sentient plants,
Ah,
I shall befriend them.
for a whole last minute.
Yep.
If you use that in battle, would Alice just get fucked by it, or like would not be affected?
No, I mean, it just means she's friendly to me. It wouldn't necessarily mean that she has to run up to me and climb me.
Gotcha. But like,
It
say like,
just makes her friends with me. It doesn't. The way I think charms work anyway is it doesn't like erase the friendships and bonds you already have.
oh no,
It
like
just
just
adds a
saying
new
like
one.
if we were in battle and you charmed Alice in battle when like Alice skip her turn or something.
Oh no. It just might influence the way she acts, I guess. But
Gotcha.
it's just it doesn't skip turns or anything.
Well, like when like skip turn, it'd just be like wouldn't be able to like attack or some shit.
She'd probably still be able to.
So that's pretty much Earless's auto attack. like fuck that up.
Think of it like Mr. Scan. When Mr. Scan charms you, he just makes you think that he's the greatest
Suck
guy in
his
the
dick.
world. Fucking chair. Did an oopsie whoopsie. One sec.
Oopsie.
Your pants look so comfy. She wants a pair. And it's gone. So Petra, what are you doing over there? So banging on the
Sleeping.
fucking wall.
She's
Trying
not
to get
banging on
some
the wall.
goddamn peace and quiet.
She's banging on the floor, not the wall.
Well, stop banging! People next to you gotta fucking sleep.
The person underneath
Ask
me.
Rilgar about it. Yeah, Rilgar's underneath her.
At first, Erlis thought it was fucking Alice trying to get out the door to go see fucking Cedric. Just fucking molest him in the night.
Good.
Completely forgot that, like, Crucia was a god, not the place. Face desk.
Yeah, my pants are super comfy. Ow.
Yeah. Can you just mail them?
No.
Alice will, like,
Fuck no.
take good care of them.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She'll mail you a pair of her pants.
Panties?
Pants.
Panties?
Pants.
Panties are
You
bust.
can, like, wear them like socks and they'll keep your feet warm.
No deal.
No deal.
No deal.
Alright. She can just send you a pair of socks.
Nope, no deal.
No deal. What about a crusty sock?
Panties
She'll
or
just
bus,
jizz them
bro?
over it. Say get off the bus.
What?
Erla's her get off the bus, bro.
No, I said panties or bust, bro.
Why not both? Just cut off her tits and just send them to you in the mail.
That's a bit extreme.
Nah.
You're bizarre.
Right.
Does your
I feel like
girlfriend
it-
even love you if she doesn't mail you her tits? In their D&D notes, it's just like Alice came on syndrome.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like it'd be cheaper to get a plane ticket than to cut off your tits and mail them. that's just
The
me.
latter sounds cheaper. Or bazongas aren't really bazonga, you know?
'Cause I feel like you'd have to pay the medical bills after you cut them off.
Nah, we got healthcare. Just gotta wait for it.
I don't think healthcare covers self-mutilation of the pig.
Oh, it does.
Have you checked it?
What are they gonna do? Like, not treat you? Yeah, sorry, you did this to yourself. We can't help you.
They might make you pay for it because it's like you're a fucking idiot.
No, they don't.
I just watched a man
Free
pick up an
healthcare.
apple. Short, damn. Florida's wild.
If you like attempt suicide here and you fuck up, they force you to
What?
live for free.
I feel
Where
like
did it go,
that's more of a problem.
More of a problem?
Yes. Because they're stopping you from doing what you want to do?
Whoa.
Well, it's not America. So if you want to
Well,
commit suicide,
Suicide
you gotta.
is connected to mental illness, and it should be treated, right? Like,
I guess.
a lot of the time, people who are driven to suicide, they don't necessarily
They don't
want
actually
to.
want to die.
Yeah, they don't necessarily want to kill themselves. They've just they've just been put in a frame of mind where they think that killing themselves is the only option. It's the only way out, and it should be treated like a serious
Why did I
condition.
have this conversation? What's happened?
I don't know. They're talking about
that shit-
healthcare.
Or worse wanted to cut off a titty and send it to college.
Um,
Both of them, both of them.
my concern is measurable.
It's measurable.
I mean,
Scale of
it's,
1 to 10.
on a scale of 1 to 10, it is infinity.
It's a
I-
10. Okay.
Oh, hey, welcome back, by the way.
Yeah. We ready to get back into it?
Yeah.
All right, Petra,
Hello.
as you fade away into your sticky dream.
Oh no!
Ooh.
Oh no.
That's a quote. That's straight in the quote chat.
You find yourself weightless, floating, which is kind of unusual compared to a lot of the, sticky dreams. Which is kind of unusual compared to a lot of the dreams you normally have, where it's just fishing, hunting, that kind of stuff that you're used to. And in this case, you find yourself floating in water. Not at the surface. In fact, you're not sure where the surface exactly is. And it's not too dark, but it's just dark enough for you to know that you're probably a lot further down than you usually are. And as you're floating, you find your hands slowly being tugged, or at least your left hand. You slowly look over to your left hand, and you find it wrapped in kelp, which are somewhat unusual. I mean, the only times you really experience kelp is every once in a while it will be used as part of a meal here and there, and it's not the most appetizing thing. You prefer fish, right?
Yes.
And as you're getting pulled, almost slowly, you see deep in the depth something connected to the kelp. That kelp slowly growing up your arm, very briefly, before, as you almost look away deep into the depths and look back, the kelp turns into something a little bit more concerning. The kelp, not just being connected to nothing now, is actually connected to a horse under the water.
Oh, it's
What? Yeah.
cool.
Beautiful white horse. And as you see the kelp slowly dragging you in, you feel somewhat calmed. Feels like you've been here before, perhaps, because you have.
Yes.
And as you slowly begin to settle, the horse kind of gestures for you to get on its back.
I guess I'll go on its back as best as I can underwater.
Yeah. Slowly rest yourself onto its back. And within a second, you're flying through the ocean. The speeds at which this horse is taking you is immeasurable. The pace it's going is kind of startling, especially since you're not being thrown off, and the kelp itself isn't holding on to you anymore. It's more like its entire mane has turned into kelp and is kind of just in front of you. As you look deep into the ocean and it brings you further down, it doesn't feel as terrifying as it did the first time. It almost feels calming. And as you see the jagged teeth in its beastly mouth as it looks back at you, where it once had a beautiful white face, it is now rotten and disgusting. Where it had an eye, it now has a socket. Where it had a almost perfect mouth, it has jagged teeth slowly opening and closing as it makes its way. Its hooves non-existent. Its mane is kelp and its tail much the same. And as you are pulled further and further down, again, it just brings you to the thought of, why does it feel so normal? Why does this feel natural to me? Where is the snake? Where is the giant beast that has haunted your dreams and your real life a couple times already in the last couple months? And as you are pulled deep below the ocean, the horse stops. It slowly turns its head to you, its face, again, disgusting. And it speaks for the first time.
Hello, my child.
It seems to be speaking directly into your mind.
Kaylin?
She's gonna like look a bit confused because a dead horse is talking to her, basically.
Yeah.
Hello?
I see the others have talked to you already somewhat, but it's not quite what you expected, is it?
Huh?
I'm sorry the last time we met, I had to be so violent. I needed to pull you away from the others' draw, if you would. You see, we spirits, we need you. You are perhaps the only person left who has a connection to us outside of your country. And things are happening that will affect not only you, the people you care about, but also Australia. I hope that my gifts have not been too much of a hassle. I can see that they are unwieldy at times, much like I am, but while they are both a price, they are also worth. I hope you use them well. And with that, you see the Kelpie slowly turn back into the beautiful white horse, and then turn its head back towards the way it was going, and then thud. You awaken on the floor, face sticking to the floorboard.
Probably.
Time to unstickify. And that is where we now find Tiani outside your door after a thud. And Kaylin has been awoken to the thud and then knocking.
I'm gonna go outside into the hallway.
I mean, the door is probably open unless Caitlin locked it.
I always lock it.
Yeah, he also locks it.
Because I know that if you want to get out, you can just pick it.
Yeah.
True.
Just gonna go out into the hallway.
Caitlin,
Is
I'm
there a-
hearing noises from Petra's room.
What kind of
I'm not
noises?
sure if she's alright.
I go over to Petra's door. What kind of noises?
Thuds? Banging?
Oh, yes. Is it every 2 hours or 3 hours?
2 hours.
I think it's 2 hours
Yeah.
now.
Yes, every 2 hours like clockwork. Every night. You get used to it, don't worry. Nothing to be concerned about though.
Very loud. How do all of you get sleep in here?
That's a good question. I usually make trinkets. I just hold my hand up, press the station like a little trinket like that makes noise. Helps me fall asleep.
I usually like silent.
Well, like I said, you get used to it.
I suppose I'll have to.
Yes.
Wait, I'm assuming that there's a lock on the inside where you can just turn it, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh.
No?
Wait, what?
I don't think so, no. You need the key inside.
Okay, well, she's finally pulled herself off the floor.
Do we hear her inside?
Yeah. You do. You hear her moving around.
Fair warning. Petra likes to sleep completely naked, so waking her up and coming to her door. Do so with the expectancy that you're going to see her completely naked when she opens that door.
Time to pick her up.
Wouldn't the blanket just be stuck to
Oh,
the bed?
See,
You'd think so. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Depends on how she's feeling that day, I suppose.
Lock. Click, click.
Oh, here we are.
door open, and she's got her covers like completely stuck to the front of her.
Today seems to be your lucky day. But yes, we've all learned
Yeah.
not to open her door willy-nilly.
Can Tiani like peel the blanket from the face? Just
Oh no,
It's not-
it's not on her face, it's covering her body.
okay. Thought it'd be like partly stuck to your face. Hi there, you doing okay?
Yes?
Alright, just concerned. I heard a lot of thuds.
You hear a door open from the other side, behind you guys, where you see
The Red
a head
Devil.
peek out from Abaddon's room. What's going on? You having a party out in the hallway again?
Very important thing, her eyes are glowing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That normal as well?
Quite. And strangely enough, she's one peculiar young girl. Yes, Abaddon, everything's fine. Tiani was just getting accustomed to the thuds.
Ah, thuds. You know, it's rather odd. They're almost always exactly on the hour. I literally can't
It's-
explain it.
A very strange phenomenon, I agree.
You know, the other day, that Vilgar bloke was all like, "Oh yes, oh, I'm gonna come up to you and talk to you, Abaddon. You need to stop that person above me from making all those studs." And I mean, like, he's
Can
been there
Abaddon
for,
roll
like,
me an insight check?
What was that?
Can Abaddon roll me an insight check?
Okay, sure. Go ahead. I will do that. Abaddon. Insight. Where is insight? Where is insight? There we go. Insight.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's just oblivious then.
Yeah, he's oblivious. He's like,
Kaelin's just
what
like
that was.
gritting his teeth at the mention of Rilgar. Scowling
Willpower
almost.
is just downstairs?
Oh yes, like literally directly below Petra. It's quite funny actually.
Good.
Why is that funny? Pretty sure he would need sleep too, yeah.
I mean, I guess, but he also ends up getting into training a little bit earlier, so eh.
Well, I'm going back to my room now.
I'll do the same. Good morning.
Oh, okay then. I'll just go back to my room as well. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. I'm gonna close Petra's door and lock it.
Right in front of Petra's face. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Yep.
All right. So, anybody trying to go back to bed?
Nope, Tiani's up now.
Yeah, no.
Can't sleep with fucking glowing-eyed fucking sticky blanket demon next door. Just go study in the book Kaylin gave her.
I mean, what time is it? 4 a.m.?
Yeah, something like that.
That's not terrible sleep. Petra's gone back to bed.
All right. All right. So, I think that is where we are going to put a pause or end to the session, because at this point it is a case of what do you guys want to do with like lessons and stuff? Are we keeping the same? Like, are you setting up the same sort of lessons with those teachers? Is there anything specific you want to do over the next week, knowing that the potentially the house leaders thing is going to be happening next week? And then on top of that, is there anything that you wanted to do otherwise?
Is there anything I need to do to prepare for the house leader thing?
As far as you have been
'Cause
told,
I don't know what
no.
the fuck it's gonna be.
Yeah,
I guess I'm just gonna go around and ask everyone who they're planning on voting for, if it comes to a vote, or if they would be opposed to me being the house leader. Because it kind of was my idea.
For more of the NPCs, the answer is just yeah, sure, sounds good.
Wonderful. I already got Petra's vote, so I'm in the majority.
Yep. All right. Anything else that you
Cool.
guys wanted to do?
Not particularly.
Not really.
Nope.
Study books, learn secrets.
Secrets. All right. So I think we are going to put a. Well, yeah, we think we're gonna end the session there for this day. Big long session so far. Next week, just we should probably just sort out like actually what lessons you guys would be going to, of course, before we disappear into the night.
How many do we choose?
It's 2,
Two.
I think. Yeah, one morning, one.
Wizardry and politics, probably.
Okay.
And wilderness and politics.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and almost forgot the classic. So we got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Can I get 6 D12s from everybody?
The fun part.
Oh yeah, the fun part.
The part where people try to hit on Petra and fuck up. Oh.
2 12s, I get an encounter with myself.
I can have an encounter with myself. I can have 3 encounters with myself.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Okay, let's see. So we've got.
I get
Okay, so I think I'm gonna change it slightly the way we were doing it. So before it was if we roll a like the same number as the one I roll, then you would get a encounter on that day, right? But I'm also going to do instead as well. If you get a 12, you just get an encounter, but it's going to be a completely different encounter kind of thing. So we'll see.
Okay.
It'll depend what the kind of thing it's going to be for that day, but it might be something weird.
Then what happens if you nat one?
If you what?
If you nat one, like Cedric did twice.
You get beaten up more.
Oh no, that's 3 more doom to add to the town. Only 2 left until Cimric cuts to dust. Whoa.
Ruh-roh.
I don't think actually. I literally think everybody like missed like almost everything on the normal encounter one, which is kind of funny.
So.
I somehow rolled 3 at wasn't.
That's kind of fun. So yes, we're gonna have 2 encounters, Cynric on Thursday and Friday, encounter with Kalen on Thursday, and an encounter on Saturday. Kalen, sorry.
Cool. Encount me, bitch.
Didn't imagine adult classes would be this way.
What?
Going to school as an adult.
Oh.
Really? All right, so let us write out what people are doing. So we've got Caitlin, wizard, politics. Cynric, what are you doing?
And then can I also learn Viking on the side, just at a slower pace?
Yeah.
Like, in the same vein as, like, just spend an hour every night, just comprehend languages, copy things over.
There we go. That's what I'm doing.
Mr. Calloway.
Killoy.
Oh,
Calorie death.
sorry, I was muted.
Oh.
Shit.
What?
What are you gonna do?
If we're just
What
doing,
is
like,
this for?
round-up
Classes?
stuff,
Yeah, classes.
I'm gonna quickly end the stream, and then I'll hop back and call for a sec.
I'm coming back to nature, bro. Get me.
Thank you to everyone who came along. I really appreciated it. Yeah, this campaign's really fun. Hope everyone who watched enjoyed, and see you next week. Now there's more D&D streams to come this week. So yeah, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Ricky from LA. Out. Good boy.